was in a vestibule at St. Pat's doing ass sex.
Lick, 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 lick.
Sounds great. Complete whores.
Opie and Anthony got this couple to have sex in New York's St. Patrick's Cathedral.
Desecration against the church is disrespectful. It's a true sacrilege.
It was just a joke. Opie's fault again.
How can we blow up our lives today?
You rocking sex. Uh-oh, we're in it again.
They hire people who are artists to do a certain thing, and then when they go too far, they suddenly wash their hands of them if they feel the heat is too heavy.
Opie and Anthony should not have been fired.
Technically, we didn't get fired.
They probably shouldn't have hired them in the first place.
Exiled radio hosts.
They had been fired in Boston after announcing that the mayor was killed. Another prank.
And I go, Anthony, I got a great idea today. We're going to tell the whole city of Boston that the mayor died in a fiery car crash while he was on vacation in Florida. What do you think?
Oh, my God, is this a bad one?
Oh, it just gets worse and worse.
Everything just went right down the crapper.
Can I just say fuck?
The duo was signed on with XM Satellite Radio.
Thank God.
Yeah, we'll make it work.
Oh, what a glorious day.
It's all about me. I play golf with old guys. I am the grinning idiot. Act.
Hey, it's Opie and Anthony. We're back now at the new climate of radio. Ho, ho, Opie.
Thank you. You don't go to CNN for dick jokes. Don't come to ONA for hard-hitting news.
Я обожаю Opie and Anthony.
私は Opie と Anthony 毎日聞きます。
Opie's хуй большой и красивый.
I don't know.
Your mom's box.
We stink.
But enough of this palaver. Let's get the show on the road.
Torture! That's torture!
What are you people? On dope?
Talk on and on about how you invented radio.
Don't fret.
Oh, you like that, don't you, faggot?
Hey, bud, what's your problem?
You dick.
This is the Opie and Anthony program on XM Satellite Radio. It's a virus. The ONA virus spreading across America thanks to XM Satellite Radio. Getting more gooder every day, right, Ant?
Of course it is. Hi, how are you?
Doing good. Bill Burr in studio for Jimmy. What's up? Jimmy back in Hollywood doing the HBO thing for like 3 weeks.
Doing his Hollywood thing.
Doing that stupid little Hollywood thing.
Hey, what's he doing? Some dumb little TV show.
Yeah, whatever.
Make a million. The fuck is he thinking?
At this point, we're entertaining the world. He's doing his cute little HBO show.
Isn't that nice? On that little network.
On that little network called HBO.
That little HBO. I haven't seen clip one, not stitch one of that show. We're here on a daily basis trying to put out product. And he talks about this show a lot. He takes a lot of time off, but I don't know. For all I know, he could just be out there fucking around.
Yeah, getting hookers.
Horsing around, getting hookers. Exactly.
I want to start by saying I've never been more tired in my life, and I blame Don Wicklin. Oh, yes, I still blame you, Don.
Yes.
Oh, yes, I still blame you.
Yes.
You're going to be puking all day today.
Had a little trouble on the...
A little?
On the flight back, did you?
A little. Now I got something going on up here in my chest area.
Yeah.
This area right here. Why am I doing a Dane Cook? I went into like a Dane Cook with my hand motions. This area. How he does that. Jesus, we get it.
It's the goddamn
Tell
traveling.
the fucking joke, will you? I like Dane Cook, though. I'm just fucking.
I know. I was gonna say I'd love to criticize him, but
no, I like him. But
you sell out with a friggin' Nets play.
Yeah.
And there's really nothing I can say at that point.
I understand.
It's the goddamn traveling is what it is.
It destroyed me. And you can call me a wimp, you can call me whatever. I don't give a shit at this point. I'm beyond tired. My time in Vegas, I'm not going to lie to you, sucked. I never caught up. I never had energy. We talked about it on the show when I got out there. It took me 16 hours to get to Vegas.
You had the hell ride to Vegas.
Which, whatever, things happen. But when you go to the airport at 5 in the morning, you assume that the tickets that were booked for you are going to be there waiting for you. And when you find out at like 5:15 in the morning that one of your tickets was canceled,
Yeah.
That would throw you into a bit of a tizzy. Make a long story short, I had to take all my stuff from LaGuardia, drive. I just happened to have my car to JFK, which isn't a quick little ride.
No.
Unless it's the middle of the night when there's no cars on the road, then it's a quick little ride. And then I got on another flight from JFK. Had to pass Vegas, where the pilot is actually going, look out the left side of your of the plane, and you'll see Vegas. I'm like, great, that's where I have to be.
If you look out of the left side of the aircraft, you're going to see where Opie wants to be right about now, but he's not going to be for another, let me check, about 8 more hours.
Yeah. I had to fly all the way to L.A. to go back to Vegas. And I had to wait in L.A. for the next plane to go back to Vegas. Make a long story short, I bored the listeners with this when I was in Vegas. It took me 16 hours to get to Vegas, door to door. And it just destroyed me.
16 hours?
Between the time difference and all that, I just never had a rhythm out there. And I didn't have fun, nothing. Absolutely nothing. And then here's the deal. Now my car is at JFK Airport, okay? So I talked to Don Wicklund. I'm like, Don, I need to get back to JFK Airport. And he goes, no problem, I'll take care of this, okay? So we went back and forth for 2 or 3 days deciding on what flight I'm going to take on Saturday. And he assures me that if I take the 1220 out of Vegas to Houston, then it would be Houston to JFK. I'm like, great, all right. I'm still bummed out about how I got out to Vegas.
Couldn't get a direct flight?
That's a whole nother story. Because XM, for some reason, likes to book everything last minute. I don't get that one. But
yeah, that works well every single time.
You hear, Bill? You couldn't get a direct flight to Vegas? Yeah, I know. That's what
I know the whole...
That's what we said to these people, and they thought we were crazy for bringing it up. That you're crazy.
No, that's what happens. Like, one time I had to go to L.A., and I was in Denver, and I had to fly to St. Louis and then go all the way to L.A. So you literally fly 2 hours in the wrong direction.
Yeah, just to go back to where you need to be.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, they had us going to Utah for a while. Utah in the winter. That's a safe flight. So,
and every second you're on the plane that you're passing your destination, you're just sitting there going, now here's the waste of time. This is just complete waste of fucking time.
Yeah.
Destination behind me.
Jump out, parachute out of the plane.
Yeah. I'm leaving my destination behind me at a few 100 miles an hour at a clip.
Yeah.
And every minute we're going this way, and it's going to be an hour. Great.
And for the new listeners, they're like, what's the big deal? Shit happens. But they've been fucking up our travel since coming to XM. Like, I can't. We have a whole list of things that have happened since coming to XM as far as traveling goes. So we go back and forth on the BlackBerry for 2 days. He goes, the 12:20 flight will get you to Houston, then Houston to JFK, no problem. I'm like, all right, book me. I'm there. All right. So I go to the airport on Saturday morning. I get there around, I guess right around 10 a.m. or so. And I go up to the desk, and I'm all happy. Like, all right, at least I'm going to get home to my car, and I could, drive from there. And I go, I decide to check at that point. Yeah, so I got a continental flight for Vegas to Houston and Houston to JFK. The guy looks at me like I have two heads. He goes, JFK? JFK? There's not many flights on Continental directly to JFK. That's very rare. I'm like, you're kidding, right? I thought, now it's Anthony and the guys and Norton and everyone just fucking with me because of how awful my travel was to Vegas.
Newark and LaGuardia are Continental.
Yeah.
Big,
he goes, JFK? Airport. Everyone knows pretty much that we don't fly to JFK. Or they do, but, it's very minimal. I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me, right?
The terminal's out. You got to go kind of around. You see the dumpster? Go around there.
Let's go to Joe. He makes a good point. I'll give it to him. Joe, go ahead.
I'm going to put myself out there, Opie. You worked for 4 hours over 5 days and probably 9 days over the last 2.5 weeks.
Oh,
and you pictured him moaning?
No, here's the deal. I'm glad we're back into a rhythm finally because the last 3 weeks have been fucked up. We've been doing a show here, doing a show there, changing the schedule here. It's going to be nice to get into that. Dude, I'm not gonna tell you that we went out there to work hard. We were looking at this as a nice little break from the action because we did work through the holidays. You know, most radio shows didn't work through the holidays, so to us it was like, do two-hour shows and then enjoy ourselves in Vegas. What I'm trying to tell you is I never got a chance to really enjoy Vegas because I was just exhausted from the ridiculous travel.
I did it for you.
I know
Thank you.
Because you didn't bite my head off, man. Punching out.
All right, Joe. Joe makes a good point. So I'm like, it's not flying. So to make a long story short, my trip was
where did they dump you off?
Vegas, Houston to LaGuardia. Now I have to go. Now after flying all day, I have to get my car at JFK.
So you had to drive from LaGuardia
in a taxi cab flying.
Well,
take a cab from LaGuardia to JFK.
Manhattan?
No, see what happened at that point. A real man took over the situation, and Eric Logan made sure I had a car at LaGuardia. Like a real man, like figured out there was a problem, and then
because you called him up and made such a pleasant phone call.
Oh
to
yeah,
him,
no,
sure.
Eric Logan is just as pissed off as I am. So
okay.
See, because I told the guys around here, I'm not stupid. I know I get a reputation for being an asshole, but this one, no way. No one's blaming me for being an asshole. Eric Logan was beyond pissed too, and because he's a real man, he took care of the situation.
And a man in my position can't afford to be made to look ridiculous.
All right, Don Wicklin, I'm on the plane. Now pissed off that I'm going to LaGuardia, right? And I get a phone call and I get a email on my BlackBerry. As they're closing the doors on the plane, he announces that he now found me a flight from Houston to JFK. I'm like, and then the stewardess is looking at me going, "What? It's not feasible to get your bags off this plane.
The connection time.
And there's no way we could guarantee that your bags will make it to JFK. I'm like, holy shit, he's making it even worse. So that's when I got on the phone with Eric Logan. I go, will you tell this fucking asshole to stop?
We have
stop.
We have Elo talking with Don right here.
You can act like a man. What's the matter with you?
I didn't think it had to get physical like that. So apparently he slapped him in the face.
So at that point, Eric Logan took over because that's what real men do, and he got me a car, like literally his private driver. So when I got off the plane, there was a ride waiting for me because I mentioned this because you mentioned the cab line.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit! Holy shit! Holy shit! If they didn't have a car for me after this fiasco and I had to wait in that cab line, it went on for days. And those people, like, this sucks, but they're getting a ride to their homes. I would have had to wait on that cab line just to go to another airport to get my fucking car. So it added about an hour and a half onto my fine travel.
I wish I had the audio of you muttering to yourself going through the airport.
Sons of bitches.
Fucking motherfucker.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Knocking over kids.
Oh, it's just angry. You just get angry.
You wish you had the voice. Well, here, I'll. This is fun when we get to let everyone in on some stuff. Let's see here.
That happened to me when I was coming back from Livonia, Michigan.
New Year's in Livonia?
For New Year's?
Yeah.
I'm going and checking for my flight to fly back, and I walk up, and, there's like 600 people in line trying to fly back.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like, I know what I'll do. I'll just go out to the SkyCap, toss the guy $5, and I'll be in and out. And I show up, and my 10 o'clock flight has been canceled. And the next one out is like, I think it was like 3 in the afternoon.
Oh, what do you do?
So I'm sitting there trying, I'm going to stay, be in a good mood. So they go, okay, they took my bag, give me a voucher. I go in there to check with the lady about the voucher. She goes, well, you want to get on, there's another 10 o'clock to go to JFK. And I'm like, okay, but I just checked my bag out on the curb. Can I go get that? And she's like, no, you can't. It's too late.
Yeah.
You now have to stay for 5 hours.
Yeah.
No, that bag is gone, sir.
The stewardess looked at me like, what? You're changing flights as we're closing the door? And she's like, I can't personally take your baggage off. You have to go back to the agent, out, in the terminal.
Yeah.
So, because you said you wish you could read my mind. Well, here you go. Here's a communique that was sent to Eric Logan, who I love dearly, who has really made us big stars at XM.
Was this the one that was CC'd to everybody?
Everybody. Did you get this, Bill? Because I think
you got to share the fun with every employee.
Well,
out of the CC loop.
Travis got this one.
It was sent to Eric Logan.
Yes, lowly Travis got this one.
It was sent to Eric Logan, Anthony, Don Wicklin, Jim Norton, Ben,
Sam got
Steve. It goes on and on. And this is exactly what I wrote. I can't take this shit anymore. I'm done as far as traveling for XM goes. Don't even approach me with travel plans for anything. The unprofessionalism and incompetence is fucking mind-boggling. Please read the email that was sent by Don below carefully. It says I'm all set to fly into JFK where my car is. Guess what? I'm flying to fucking LaGuardia. Meaning after flying all day, I have to take a cab to another airport to get my car.
What's the airport code for fucking LaGuardia? FLGA?
FLGA.
I've flown into LaGuardia before. I hear fucking LaGuardia is really a bitch, though, to get out of.
Meaning after flying all day, I have to take a cab to another airport to get my car. Also, our seats are not together, which is minor, and I acknowledge that. But, Don, why would you say they were next to each other when obviously they're not? So he didn't even check on the flight, and he'll go to his grave saying he did, but you didn't because, you know what, they just happened to change the seats?
You see him 80 years old, laying in a hospital bed. I did book that flight correctly. He's going to his grave. I will never say that.
Rosebud.
You joke?
It's the travel agency's fault.
You joke? I will haunt him until he either gets it right or quits.
Really?
That's his only options. But I will be haunting him.
Opie's thumbs are still bruised from typing that text message with all that anger.
Well, my BlackBerry's fucked up thanks to the fine folks at Circuit City who are pouring Red Bull and vodkas all over it. Oops. It's another story. We had a fine party in Vegas the last night. Great guys at Circuit City.
There were a lot of parties going on.
Alcohol.
Yeah, there were all kinds of, like the AVN Awards thing was going on, the Adult Video News thing was going on. So Jimmy and Keith the Cop are going to these parties. I'm getting invites to go to these porn parties, and then someone went and comes back, and you hear, it sucked. It was like a room full of people. Like, it could have been just anyone's dopey party that you walk into and don't know anyone. Like, you expect a porno party. It's going to be naked girls and dildos and shit like that.
Yeah, flying across the room.
No, it's just guys standing around. Yeah, well, you know, video sales were up 3% this year. We're hoping next quarter is going to be a little bit. This is a porno party? Where's the dildo?
Yeah,
where's the hedgehog doing some ass fucking?
Yeah, where's the double dongs? All right, so the seats weren't together. But, Don, why would you say they were when obviously they're not? This really makes me feel like an important part of the team. This is just another error on a long list of travel fuck-ups since coming to XM. Why do I have to personally suffer because people don't like Kenny? I can't think of anything like this happening when Kenny's involved.
Didn't.
It never happened.
Never.
Well, Kenny was a road manager for 18 years.
Yeah.
But they want to ignore that for some reason. As far as the trip coming to Vegas, I would have never made it to the airport with the initial fuck-up because Kenny would have checked our flights early in the morning of our travel. No doubt in my mind he would have caught the error. That's the fucking difference. I cannot express how pissed off I am right now. Don, I don't want to hear shit as far as this fuck-up goes. Do not call me. Eric, we have a real problem, and we need to talk early next week.
Uh-oh.
So, Don, just in case you thought I calmed down the last 2 days, absolutely fucking not.
And here's how much I care about Opie, because I stayed in Vegas an extra day. So I'm in Vegas.
Were you thinking about him as you were lounging at the pool?
I checked my email from my room.
About me in 5 years.
From my suite. I checked my email, and I saw Opie's email, very upset, very disturbed. So I
Eating
immediately...
one of those mints off your pillow?
Yes, one of the mints. I immediately fired off an email to Wicklund and said, how does this affect my flight back? I want to make sure this doesn't happen to me.
I got to start thinking about me more.
It's all about me.
Well, I'm going to start doing me.
I am in the me phase of life.
It's so easy to do me.
I don't care. I could give a flying fuck about anyone else. Now, it's all about me, how I can be convenienced, my things, what I do, what I have to do, things like that. I spent too many years just being yes man. Yes man to everybody. All right, sure thing, I'm on it.
Was that like back in like the 30s?
Way back. Oh, yeah, in the 30s. Yeah.
You were in high school?
That was it. Sure. Me, Charlie Chaplin, Albert Einstein. I was always grabbing him beakers or whatever he needed.
Who spoke at your graduation? Who was the guest speaker?
Oh, the guest speaker?
Yeah.
Clark Gable.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, came in talk about a little about drama.
Teen heartthrob.
No, he did. Teen heartthrob, Clark Gable. How could you grow this mustache?
All right, so there's the deal. And now I got some kind of respiratory thing happening, which is
because you're on the plane. Because the plane is nothing but a flying petri dish.
I was going to guess Grover Cleveland.
Grover Cleveland would have been a good one.
That wacky
so they tried to get him. I I had a great day in Vegas after all was said and done. Very hard to catch up on the sleep thing, like you said, with the long flight and everything. But once I was in it, Keith the cop even was like, he kept coming up to my poker chair, my chair at Hold'em, and going, you got to go to bed. I get crazy. It's a good thing that the closest casino is Atlantic City or Mohegan.
Yeah.
It's an effort.
You really got to commit to get there.
It's not a quick, 20-minute drive, to a casino. Because if it was, I could see me having a problem. I went, I guess it was Friday, right after the show. Went up, had something to eat. Friday night, I was at the Hold'em table from, I believe, probably 8 o'clock at night after dinner. So I ate. I did not leave that seat. An occasional piss. Same table until 5 in the morning. From 8 at night till 5 in the morning.
Wow.
That was just day one. And then Saturday night, it was from, I think, sometime in the early evening until about 1:30. But I had to get up at 4 for the flight, so I left the casino at 1:30. That's when Keith came up and was like, I'm going to be picking you guys up at 5.
Jesus.
So
that's one of those things you're sitting there going, okay, if I go to bed now, I'll get 6 hours.
Oh.
If I go to bed now, I'll get 4 hours. You know what? I'll just stay up. I'll sleep on the plane.
That's what I said. I'm looking at my watch every minute just going, all right, a little long. And I'd set a goal for myself and go, all right, dude, by 11 o'clock, I'm back in the room. And then 11 rolls around, you're like, I'm kind of on a roll here. I'm just going to keep playing. 11:30.
Second I start losing.
And second I start, I'm not going to drop money here now. The second I start losing, I'm out. And you look at your watch, and casino time blows by so fast that you look and another hour goes by.
I know.
So you got to make a new goal for yourself.
You don't even get sleepy. You're like that chick from The Ring. You're just sitting there, the clock's moving. Actually, there's no clocks there, is there?
No clocks, no windows.
In a casino.
No concept of time whatsoever.
Anthony's just sitting there with his hair in his face like that chick who crawls out of the well.
I just sit there. They don't want you to know what time it is or anything. It's all set up. The temperature, they've worked out the temperature where it's perfect temperature to keep you awake and wanting to stay there. The colors they pick. I've seen these casino shows on Discovery and stuff.
The casino was a little cold, actually, didn't you think?
But it's supposed to be.
Just to keep you awake?
If you're a little warm, you get a little drowsy. They don't want drowsy. They want you staying awake and gambling. The color scheme is set up in a way where they've actually done studies where certain color combinations keep you awake and make you want to stay there, and they're pleasing to the eye.
I saw a show on Vegas and casinos. These fucking bastards also lay the rugs down in a way so if you drop a chip, it's really hard to find it.
If you notice,
is that the reason for those? They have the ugliest carpet.
Look at the color. Show. They basically have rugs that will blend into the chips.
The color of the carpet will always match the color of the bigger money chips.
Right.
So like if it's a purple, black, green combination on there, there's this purple, black, green carpet
to make it harder for you to find your chip.
The colors are very intertwined in pattern. They're not big like squares or anything. They're very small color combinations of the same color as the chip. So if you drop a chip, it falls down, and later on, I guess the cleaning crew is known to have to give these things back. You're not leaving with it.
They have to give it back?
I would gather they cannot just leave with a I
always wondered why those rugs were so brutally ugly.
They are brutal like that so that chips will get lost on them, and I'm sure they probably have people whose job it is to walk around the casino. Maybe they have another job, but part of it is to look down and look for chips on the floor and just pick them up. And there's probably millions in revenue per year
you gotta think
that they get just in lost chips.
You got to think people are dropping a lot of chips.
Yeah,
in that situation.
You've seen some drunks.
You're drunk and
the chip pile goes flying. They pick up a few.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the phones. Keith in Jersey. Keith, what's up?
I initially just had one short comment, which was,
Opie, Travel Diva.
Travel
Do
Diva.
you guys realize that when somebody screws up like this and Opie comes in all pissed off, it makes for the best goddamn radio. He's hysterical when he's pissed.
Well,
maybe they do it on purpose.
Thank you, I guess.
Yeah, that's probably it. They do it on purpose.
I'm going to be listening to this on the replay all goddamn day.
All right, thanks there, Keith.
Later,
all right. Speaking of pissed off, Eric found you and I talking about XM satellite radio when we were on commercial radio.
This is classic.
This is priceless. We'll do it after the break.
And it shows the insight that your pals Opie and Anthony have.
We like to say as many times as we can that we're brilliant broadcasters.
Brilliant.
We don't just say that we're brilliant broadcasters. We prove it to you.
Back it up.
We back it up.
We saw the future before anyone did. We saw the future of this and saw the threat in it to terrestrial radio. You're damn right.
I'm just seeing, are we going to continue with the casino thing? No. Okay. Well, you want to do it now, or you want to take a break?
That ain't my fucking job.
That's right. You're the point guy.
It's about me. I said it's about me. I don't do that.
You don't want me to
figure it out.
You don't want me to start doing a me show, dude. Trust me. You sound real cocky, but if you want me to play,
If
you want me to play the me game, trust me.
Ooh.
I thought this was
little
a
Texas
show.
Hold'em
Trust
here.
me.
This is a little Texas Hold'em here, huh? He just raised you. What do you got to say about that, huh?
He just raised me. Let me look at my hand.
It's all cute, me.
I'm buying a house. I'm gonna fold. I gotta buy a house.
No drama.
I need this job.
All right, we'll take a quick
you
break.
guys have a nice argument?
I thought we were gonna play it.
Nah, we'll take a break. Fucking take a break. Trust me, we'll take a break. Thanks, Don, for putting me in a great mood today. I really appreciate it. You're doing a great job for us. It's wonderful. Well, we got some audio from the Tonight Show appearance.
Opie and Anthony.
It's great.
They're like the hottest guys on radio.
Wow, that's really nice.
Opie and Anthony Show on XM Satellite Radio.
It starts with an ONA plug before headlines.
Opie and Anthony Show on XM Radio.
Very nice.
Tested. Leno approved.
They plugged us like 3 times last night on the show.
The Opie and Anthony Show.
The hottest show there is.
You're checking out the Opie and Anthony program. Bill Burr sitting in for Jim Norton today.
See?
Mark has a question from Coral Springs. Mark, what's up?
Do you guys catch that Giant game today?
The Giants. Holy shit. Big boo.
What was the answer?
Yeah, the front page of the Post here in New York. Big boo instead of big blue.
The Newsday's got big blew it. Get it? They blew it.
Leading up to the game, the papers were reporting this could be their year. They seem to have all the right pieces in the right positions, and holy crap, they didn't even show up yesterday. What was it, 23-0 Panthers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Embarrassment.
He needs to get his color, his eyesight checked.
Nah, Eli Manning, he's improved greatly since last year. He's going to be a fine quarterback. It's just too early. Guy's only been doing it 2 seasons so far.
The big choke.
Yeah, he
definitely got Plaxico, Shockey.
He definitely choked yesterday, though, and then the Pats had a good game.
That's right.
Of course they did.
It's got to be them in Indy. It's only right.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah, has to be.
That would be a
If the Patriots go in and if they actually beat Indy in Indy, that will be my favorite victory.
Ever?
Well, not ever.
It would be up there.
Ever.
It would be up there.
Might be right
they were
up
all
there.
talking shit after they beat us in November. It's like half our team was in a MASH unit, and they're all like, we avenged the loss. What, you beat us in November? You really happy with that?
You beat our B team.
Yeah.
I hate when people do that to you. Dude, come on. Look at my lineup here. No one was playing. All right, Mark, thank you.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, bro. It's a very, very busy day. Very busy day. A lot of excitement because Howard's starting his satellite radio career. Hoo-hoo. You could just hear the excitement. Wait, listen. Wow.
Did I hear? No, I thought I did. For a second, I thought I did.
Wow.
But no.
Anyway, speaking of satellite radio,
You know what? Quickly, he may be vindicated a bit in my eyes.
Why?
In such a way. Because he goes to satellite, and he starts doing things, and it is annoying when people do the things you did when you first started in a medium. When we first came to satellite radio, we saw all the freedom and opportunity to do things and play certain things and react to them in a certain way. And then to see him go on and hear about things that we did when we first got, I mean, verbatim, and just things being played and done and said and scenarios being played through that are, I got to say, exactly like what went on here.
Right.
Everything from how we handled the technical glitches on the air to certain material that we played 8 months ago.
Right down to playing George Carlin.
To the George Carlin opener.
We thought that was the only way.
7 Dirty Words.
To start your career on satellite radios, to do the 7 Dirty Words.
7 Dirty Words, which we started when we first came on. I mean, the Pat O'Brien tapes. I'm getting reports from the pests.
Well, this is what's amazing, and he's just going to do it to himself. He's playing the Pat O'Brien sex tapes and saying it's the first time that these tapes have been heard uncensored.
Yeah, what?
We got press on the fact that we were playing them. Uncensored, you ass.
And in true ONA style, we drove that shit into the ground.
That's right.
We played it till you didn't want to hear it anymore.
That's right. But there you go. You know, he's had a long time to think about what to do on satellite radio, and that's how he opens up his new career, by playing the Pat O'Brien sex.
Yeah, but he had an interesting little take on it. He played Prince's "Let's Get Crazy" on top of it.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Kind of did that too.
Hoo-hoo. Now we're the guys. Hoo-hoo. We started that. We were doing that. We were doing that 8 months ago. Tell him, Derek.
All of Sirius Radio rips me off.
We tie a bandana around Pat O'Brien's car and listen to him curse.
Amazing.
Yeah, like, you know what we just worked on?
What?
Which is just crazy when you hear him that way. We have all the Pat O'Brien tapes now uncensored.
We got to save those
me
for
and
Monday.
Betsy and a whore.
Oh, that's right.
That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it was.
That's a whole new thing. And then I know Dan was putting together all new songs with him.
Right.
Oh, my God. Putting together all new songs with him. Yeah. It's the same shit we did.
You know it's going to be awesome because you heard it.
Yeah, you heard
it.
it.
Escalade, you fucking asshole.
You saw the reaction to it. It was well received. We got press on it.
Nice.
Oh, my God. Can I tell you something?
He should be in jail.
I'll tell you something. I missed the whole first time, I guess, with the bleeping. I never realized he said that he wanted to beat off in her face.
Yeah, because you know,
Yeah,
that's
the bleep was so big you couldn't tell what
that's
that
a
was.
very important part of the puzzle that he wants to beat off on her face. I mean, that's a major violent act as far as I'm concerned.
No, it really is.
How many women's faces have you beat off on? Honestly,
This is a stranger he's
well,
talking
like
to.
I got to hear that again. Did
That's
you really
what I
say beat off on your face?
It's shocking.
I thought he said come on your face. It beat off.
Yeah.
I think he said beat off.
He definitely says beat off, yeah.
What?
He definitely says beat off.
If you want, Howard, we have the...
Now say that again.
He definitely says beat off.
I'm playing with the board.
If you wanted to, you could go to the individual clips, but maybe we save them for another day.
Jesus Christ.
Sounds very familiar, doesn't it?
Wow.
But see, everyone rips him off.
But it's, you know,
But his first opportunity,
day.
His first opportunity on satellite radio, he's blatantly doing something we did very well and got press for doing.
It was great. And to have satellite radio available to you to play those tapes uncensored is a blast. And it was for us when the tapes came out about 8 months ago.
A long, long time ago.
A long time ago. And we played the songs over them because it's funny as shit to do.
And we had the listeners do their own remixes.
The listeners sent in their remixes, and that's when the bit ends because that's when it gets really bad because the listeners, for the most part, stink.
It was one of our best bits since coming to satellite radio. The Pat O'Brien sex tapes and the remixes.
God.
So we want to go to that well again. I got a hold of Steve last night. And the Emily Stern audio is up on OpieAnthony.com.
Yes, it is, and the video.
Where she talks about her big Jewish tits.
Yes.
And we're looking for remixes, everybody.
Remixes from the listeners, please.
Yes, we did the first one, and quite frankly...
Now, Opie, wait a minute.
Quite frankly, it's lame, and we know that. And you guys called us out on the fact that it's lame.
Opie, before you put that in the player there, what did Imus say?
Oh, you want
now,
to
yes, because Imus is like the patriarch of this program, And I think we ought to listen to him when he said, please, maybe we shouldn't goof on Stern's daughter.
Right. Well, this is what Imus said. We couldn't really tackle this bit in Vegas because we only had 2 hours.
2 hours in front of a dopey live audience.
But we're going to tackle this bit now, aren't we? So this is what Imus had to say.
Howard Stern's daughter, Emily, has abruptly been pulled out of an off-Broadway show in which she appeared stark naked.
Yeah.
And there are some pictures in the Post, too.
Yeah. Well, I'll leave the guys.
And the Daily News.
And the Daily News. But it's a wild shot with... she's playing, actually, Madonna in the show Triad, which is... obviously it's about the Kabbalah and the famous follower of Kabbalah, which is Madonna. And so she appears in these yellow panties and a cone bra. And in the finale, the rabbi, who's the executive director of the show, tells her that if she gets naked, the Messiah will come. And she strips off all of her clothes, and then the rest of her cast also gets nude, and then they worship her body parts.
And it was panned in the New York Times as dreadful, mind-numbing, and in bad taste. How great would it be, though, if she ended up on Opie and Anthony, sticking cucumbers in her private parts? I mean, wouldn't the irony be something to behold there, or no? I mean, is it not something here that's some twist that's sort of a...
Looking for a silver lining, right?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Leave the guy's kid alone.
So there's Imus. Leave the guy's kid alone.
Leave the guy's kid alone.
By the way, we brought this to the attention of the media, the whole Emily Stern thing. And here's Imus begging us to lay off Howard's daughter.
Yeah.
Here's what I want to say, and I just hope Opie and Anthony, and I'm very close to Opie. In fact, I think he may be my son. Yes. And I do like him. I would say to them, let's just lay off the Howard Stern daughter story. I think there's some things that,
If they do that, then they're pussies.
Yes.
They have to go after her and him.
I would be very disappointed in them if they were to do that. I would implore them and beg them here this morning on my program, the Imus Women program, to just rise above it. Rise above that. Sure. ONA, this is your morning to rise above that. I hope you do that.
And not to challenge the stripped naked appearance of Emily Stern in this, what I guess is just an atrocious off-Broadway show. Off-Broadway.
Some things that ought to be off limits, and I just...
Take the high road, boys.
I've just implore and beg my friends Opie and Anthony, and I said I must go to Opie to try to take the high road, because as Kinky said, there's no mud on the high road. So hopefully I'll get a report later today on whether, in fact, they took my advice. They, unfortunately... often do not.
With that said, Mr. Imus, we hear you loud and clear.
Yes,
and that's why we're starting this brand new bit on the Opie and Anthony program. This brand new bit.
Man, if that wasn't good cop, bad cop, where they're both really bad cops.
Yeah.
Well, stop it. Now, an interesting side note on that. When that audio came in, didn't our own E-Rock say... Guys, I don't get it. Imus is really saying, pleading that you guys don't goof on Howard's daughter.
Right.
Like, he didn't see through that at all. He didn't hear the sarcasm in Imus's voice.
For the love of God.
For the love of God, for all that is holy, please do not talk about Emily badly.
Yeah.
Guys, again, let me reiterate, don't do that. And E-Rock tells us, Imus is saying not to goof on the situation. And I was like, wow, really? That's odd of Imus to say.
Because Imus loves when we bash Stern.
And then you
absolutely
listen to...
loves it.
Yeah.
If you run the tape backwards, I'm sure you hear some sort of evil Imus voice telling you to do it.
Of course you do.
Make fun of her daughter. Make fun of the whore, I don't care.
But E-Rock, guys.
E-Rock, you want to defend yourself?
E-Rock,
face value E-Rock.
You want to try?
That was before I got the audio. That was based on what everybody was sending in saying, Imus is telling you guys not to do it. Then I got the audio.
You heard the audio and then told us, obviously, Imus is being sarcastic,
blaming the
right?
listeners?
No.
No, you didn't tell us that.
No. After that, I said, I have the audio, and that was the last
I have the audio of Imus saying that you shouldn't make fun of Emily Stern.
That's all I said.
Instead of going, wow, the guy really is sarcastic in this. It's pretty funny. And
pretty obvious.
It's pretty obvious he wants us to goof on her.
Nudge, nudge.
Okay. All I said was I have the audio.
E-Rock, he doesn't get sarcasm.
Wow.
Well, we got Rob on Long Island. He's got a problem with us. A faithful listener of the show. Rob, what's up today?
How you doing, guys?
All right.
I just think that you guys are above that. But actually,
No,
after hearing Imus, I really didn't know. I mean, he really does want you to. So
Howard
blessing.
spent many, many hours during his career making fun of people's kids. Many, many hours. Wishing AIDS on some...
Built a career on wishing AIDS on general managers, goofing on people's children, constantly goofing on people's children, calling out people, other radio personalities that are very close to this program and their children.
Brother Weeze.
Right, Brother Weeze.
I'll say it, Brother Weeze, when Howard went into Rochester, New York, was killing one of Weeze's daughters.
That was his first thing that he did.
Weeze's daughter.
And how old was she at the time?
I don't even know.
I don't
want to get too much into it, but basically, Howard just went right after Weeze's daughter.
Right after that was first
he's such
thing
a
he
nice
did.
guy.
Not real nice guy.
So go fuck yourself.
And the guy has done nothing but rag on the children of celebrities when they trip up, when they fuck up. That's the first thing he does. And what he does is, and what he's done over the years, and any fan or anybody who's listened to him would know this, he goofs on the parent and says, what type of parenting are they doing that this child goes out and does this? Well, Howie, the same type you did. The same type that got into that situation at the Jingle Ball a couple of years back. You might remember that one, where we have police reporting that you and your estranged wife at the time were in the hospital waiting room crying as there was a situation taking place inside. That bad parenting, if you ask me, not being there. When you're on the air yelling about your clones wanting your acceptance and using your catchphrase, love me, daddy. All they want to do, these other jocks, they just want my attention. They're trying to get my attention. Love me, daddy. Love me, daddy. Well, you should have maybe taken that love me, daddy and turned it toward your children. So maybe your 22-year-old daughter wouldn't be naked with those luscious, huge Jewish tits up on that stage talking about her cunt and her ass and her tits up on a stage if daddy was there for her, instead of greedily trying to sign a contract for a few extra bucks. Maybe if you were there for your children, they wouldn't end up like so many of the children of the celebrities that you goofed on and built a fucking career on. And now we're supposed to sit back and not say anything? Take the high road? No. You know something? We're not above the high road. No. We can be just as big as scumbags.
And the Pat O'Brien sex tapes, that bit was so great for us, we got to do it again, and we'll just use the Emily Stern audio.
Right.
See what the listeners come up with.
Okay.
The dirtier, the better, by the way.
The filthier, the better.
Here's the unedited audio of Emily Stern in this really, really awful, way off-Broadway play.
It's in Long Island.
It's way off-Broadway.
Some Jewish theater group. What kind of...
Sexual, spiritual, sexual, both and in all, sexual, spiritual, all like hell, the name of God, my breasts, my white shining legs, my vagina, my ass are all godly. Breast in Hebrew is shad, God in Hebrew is Shaddai. Shaddai in Hebrew also means my breasts, God, in my tits inside God, my tits are godly, my tits are God, hot. I'm so happy I'm in the Kabbalah Center. I learned so much. I now meditate on letters TIT, and everybody will immediately notice my tits. Letters TIT, come hither.
have to listen to this whole thing. Please. It's like a minute left.
This is why I never go to theater. Theater. It's the theater. We're going to the theater. And then horrific. Close off.
Is the opposite of deep, and sleep when the piece at the beginning is bad news, me at the end is great. Deep, don't preach. Sleep, keep. Papa, don't preach. I'm in trouble deep. Papa, don't preach. I've been losing sleep, but I made up my mind. I'm keeping my baby. I'm gonna keep my baby.
Turn it off.
Sounds like those Wizard of Oz tapes you were playing.
Yeah, the retarded
Wizard of Oz.
Turn it off!
Why are you spitting on me? Is it catalytic? Oh, okay, here you go.
First of all, it's absolutely awful acting.
I don't care who was in that part.
Yeah, let's just start with saying that.
Let's just critique
awful,
the audio.
Awful
Horrid.
acting.
Horrid.
So, what do you do with material like that? I mean, it's just... Who wrote that shit? They're like trying to make fun of Madonna, I guess?
You could say no,
yeah.
though. You could say no. You want to be an actress?
Try another part.
Yeah. Try another part.
Yeah.
You're Howie's daughter. I'm sure that you get some offers
some cash,
just because you're Howie's daughter.
I guess it's a big ensemble cast, and they each have their different take on the Kabbalah, and hers is the, latest celebrity craze take on it, and she chooses a Madonna-type character, and at the end she rips her clothes off.
Yeah.
That's good for
And there may or may not
play.
be naked pictures of Howard's daughter out there.
I haven't seen any of the naked ones.
Yeah, I haven't really seen them.
I haven't seen them yet.
I haven't seen them. That's right, haven't seen them. So that audio's up on opieandanthony.com. We're looking for remixes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And even I think some of our guys are going to try the old remix game.
People love doing the remixes at home. The filthier, the better.
We made a quick one. Mm-hmm. People hate it.
Really?
They hate it, but this is what we came up with fast.
Spiritual, sexual.
You're the end of the rainbow.
My breasts.
My pot of gold.
My white shining legs, my vagina.
Your daddy's little girl.
My ass are all godly.
You have and hold.
God, in my tits.
A precious gem.
My tits inside, God.
Is what you are.
My tits are godly.
Your mommy's bright.
My tits are God.
And shining star.
Spiritual, sexual.
You're the spirit of Christmas.
Immediately notice my tits.
My star on the tree.
T.I.T.
You're the Easter bunny.
Papa, don't preach.
To mommy and me.
I'm in trouble deep.
Your sugar, your smile.
Papa, don't preach.
Your everything.
I've been losing sleep.
And your daddy.
God, in my tits. My tits inside, God. My tits are godly. My tits are God.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I've got Allison. Allison. She's the best friend I could ever have.
He's going to lose his mind when the remixes start coming in. This bit had to start somewhere.
Mama!
The bits, it's off to a slow start, but we'll see what happens as the days go on here. The Emily Stern remix contest starts today.
Love me, daddy. Love me, daddy.
The audio's up on opieandanthony.com. People are suggesting what to do with that. Well, yeah, porn music would be nice.
Uh-huh.
Tell him, Fred.
So there you have that.
How long before she is in some radio studio with guys throwing baloney at her ass? Or laser pointering her thighs, tits? If that isn't a cry, do I have to spell it out?
She seems, yeah.
Is there somebody really thinking maybe this is her just wanting to branch out and be an actress? Or do I have to fucking sit here and spell out the fact that this girl is trying her damnedest to get back at Daddy and get Daddy's attention by being naked? And this is step number 1. And we all know what the final step is. We all know what the final... Well, the final ultimate step would be, as was suggested, being here on this program.
With cucumbers?
With getting a cucumber up the twat. That's the goal. But at a Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner, when she brings home none other than Patrice O'Neill as her new boyfriend to Howie.
Why do you have to go the black route?
Because that
Patrice O'Neill is a fine gentleman.
I know that.
And he would make a very nice husband.
But it is known that some white girls, to get back at Daddy, bring home black guys. You want more gangster than Patrice? Who do you think would be good?
I don't know if it's a black-white thing.
It certainly is. In a Jewish family?
She seems to just be a wild one. She just seems to be wild.
You think a little wild?
Yeah. Absolutely.
I don't know. Some people can't pick a script, though.
Yeah.
Some people just aren't good at it.
If somebody maybe ought to read over her scripts and say, no, I don't think this one's for you.
Like I said, you could say no. You could say no. Well, lots of reaction on the phones right now. Tex in Arkansas. Tex, what's up?
Hey, guys, today is the last day of my job. I quit. I stayed home with my daughter for the rest of her life so she doesn't embarrass me, and she turns out to be a good kid and nothing like Emily Stern. This is my last day of work. I'm officially giving notice this morning.
Oh, and Howard was livid. He made her quit the play and everything. He was beyond pissed off.
Little spin on that one was that the director promised not to let her name out and make any tie between her and Howard, and once that was broken, that confidence was broken, she quit.
Yeah, because the kind of person who would write something that is so trustworthy.
Yeah, doesn't want to capitalize.
No, not at all. He's not just trying to get some actress in there naked.
With a little name on. But I don't think that's the case anyway.
Wow, the article is great. I only read the Post article when we were in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Stern daughter rudely exposed to stage world. The writer-director of Kabbalah, an off-Broadway religious satire in which cast members stripped naked yesterday, blasted female lead Emily Stern as a Jewish-American princess for abruptly quitting the show and called her famous father, Howard Stern, a psycho. Israeli-born stage maven Tuvia Tenenbaum, who runs the Jewish Theater of New York, told me he canceled the run when the 22-year-old actress who played Madonna in the show bowed out after 6 weeks at the Triad Theater on West 73rd Street because a couple of Howard Stern fan sites exposed her celebrity parentage. We were looking for a talented actress to replace her, this guy says. But after Stern fan site outed her, Emily was distraught. She said she was freaked out and had to quit, but I told her she was behaving like a Jap, just what she promised me she would not do, said the 48-year-old Tenenbaum, a former Orthodox rabbi who moved to the United States, blah, blah, blah. After I cast her in late September, her father called her in for a meeting. Tenenbaum recounted. She came back very shaken. She said, my father basically told me that if I take the role, which requires her to be on stage nude for the last 10 minutes, that his enemies would buy blocks of tickets, throw garbage at my vagina, take nude pictures of me, and put them all over the Internet. I told Emily, you have to stand up for yourself as a human being and as an individual.
We have a winner.
And separate from your father. Your father's a psycho. Your father is selfish. Howard Stern's manager, Don Buchwald, refused to discuss the situation and called me an unprintable name. He added sarcastically, you're a noted journalist, and I look forward to reading one of your epic stories. And it just goes on. That,
disowned. Sounds to me like she's disowned. Like he put the law down and she said, fuck you. Right. I'm doing this anyway.
Right.
I'm my own woman.
More quotes from Howard about this. He told her, if you're in that show, a lot of people are going to use it against me. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. I told her, this is Tenenbaum again, your father's a brilliant entertainer, but he's very selfish towards you. And I said I would keep it a secret that she was Howard Stern's daughter, but she had to promise me she wouldn't quit, so we went ahead. And there you have it. Well, the audio's up on opieandanthony.com. We will do
there
remixes.
Is video.
And the video's up, too, somewhere? Yeah. That's up on opieandanthony.com, I'm assuming.
You can check that out. Get to it.
That's getting lots and lots of hits. As well as Pat from Menaki. Cribs is up and running.
Oh, I saw that last night. It is so tragic. He is impoverished. The guy is living in squalor. They could not describe it over these airwaves as well as this video shows. It is a shithole. He lives in an absolute shithole trailer.
We did like an MTV
That's a
Cribs.
tragic story.
Oh.
That's like VH1 Behind the Music, former eggnog drinking champion.
Right. Look at what has become of him. And
Wasted
there are
his
some
fortune.
Yeah, his eggnog drinking fortune. What did he get for that?
He got residuals and stuff.
Yeah, sure. When you see some of the things in this trailer, I think the most tragic parts are where he goes into this. I guess it's a closet. I can't tell what part of that trailer is a closet or a bathroom or anything. It's just like one mess leads into another. And he's
like one big dirty closet.
It is. It's a big, like a storage facility.
Tennis rackets and shit laying around.
There were things like just in the middle of the floor, and I didn't get the layout. It wasn't that. What's that Asian way of setting up a house so it's all in
feng
sync?
Shui?
Feng shui. I wasn't feeling the feng shui of his trailer. His box of trophies was the most depressing part of it.
From his eating competition?
No, from his younger days as a wrestler in high school. And he has pictures of himself all young and virile, manly.
10 toes.
Yeah, 10 toes. Not the freak he is now.
Pictures of him being vile.
Going
back to last week.
A little, and he
self-abuse there.
He kind of goes, here's my box of broken trophies from days gone by, and he takes the top part, and it's him doing some, the top of the trophy, some physical activity, and he's just spinning it around, and it's kind of broken, like they've all just been thrown in a box and forgotten, just like the reality of that.
From years of being evicted and having to leave.
Yeah, having to move, and how many times has that box been shoved in the back of a shit car?
He doesn't even unpack them anymore. He knows he's leaving soon.
So it was really tragic.
And the video's now up, Pat from Menake's Cribs. And they do it just like MTV's Cribs, which makes it really fun.
Oh, they even steal the whole beginning clip.
Steal the intro of the real
great.
Cribs and all that.
I gotta see this.
It's really good. It's an old bit we've been doing for a while. We haven't, this is the first one in a few years now.
Yep.
Pat from Menake, what's up? How did you like your Cribs on the website there?
Oh, it was spectacular.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did you watched it, the whole thing?
Yes, I did.
And any favorite parts?
I kind of like my memories falling off my refrigerator and shattering on the floor. And then the magnets wouldn't even hold it onto the refrigerator.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. When it just slid off the refrigerator. Picture him. He goes, even the magnets won't hold me up. Like his actual weight is in the picture.
I still haven't seen the video. I got to check it out later.
The end is really classic where they, because everyone for some reason has to be coached as to how the episodes of Cribs end. On MTV, they always end with the camera crew leaving and the person whose crib it is by the door going, well, goodbye, thank you, MTV, for stopping by, and then they go back in the house.
Basically saying it's time to leave, get out of here.
And for some reason, they never know and always have to be told by the video crew. So Pat says goodbye, and then he's kind of standing there, and you hear Than or somebody say, Danny, I'm not sure who it was, say, you're supposed to just wave and go back into your place and shut the door. He goes, oh, okay, well, goodbye, thank you. He shuts the door. You hear something fall. He opens the door and goes, oh, my speaker fell over. And they zoom back in the door, and there's this big speaker laying on the floor. It's just nothing goes right.
That's great. All right, Pat. We'll all check it out later today. How's the cat?
Okay, and cat's fine. And everybody, stop donating money. I do not want money.
Yeah, obviously he's being sarcastic. No one's donating money. I've read the message boards where they're saying that me and you are selfish and greedy because we haven't hooked up Pat or Stalker Patty, who now owes like $2,000 in back rent. Do you want us to spend a half hour telling you guys what we've done for Stalker Patty over the years? It's not even funny at this point. No, there's no humor in it. No, but it's unbelievable how much we have given Stalker Patty. I wouldn't worry about Patty. But that's not the type of thing we do on this show. Get Pat. He just wants to touch something. Get him a kayak and pick up that cat with leukemia. Bring him out of that trailer. Wait, he's
touch my toe.
Wait, you got $962?
I don't have $962.
On what? What's that on, Eric?
That's the PayPal thing set up. That's how much's been donated so far to Pat.
What is that donation thing? What are the other names? Who donated?
Yeah, they list the names of everybody who donated and how much they donated.
And that goes to Pat? How?
I refuse.
I guess they cash it out and give him a check from it.
When?
Whenever they decide to end it.
Like, is that just a bank of Pat now? You can go in and write checks off of that?
There's one for Patty, too.
And Patty's up to $325, and Pat from Menake's just under $1,000.
Well, where can you get that? Right? It is a tax deduction.
There you go.
Where can you get to that page?
Right off Opie and Anthony.
Right off OpieAndAnthony.com.
OpieAndAnthony.com, the ONA Disaster Relief Fund, it's titled.
Yeah, and there's one for Stalker Patty, one for Pat from Menake.
Stalker Patty, is that her sitting on her bed? What is that?
Stalker Patty needs $3,400 so she could pay her rent, her back rent.
She got backed up $3,400 in rent.
The description for Stalker Patty: one mandible, no future, hungry. In all seriousness, give as much as you can. She is due to be evicted this month. Jesus. We need to raise $3,400 so she can pay her rent.
Does she have a job? Does she work?
Yeah, she works pretty hard, actually. She
good job.
I don't think ISM's going to allow her to live here.
No, not like
the old
NW.
place. The old place, she lived under the stairs for a while. Pat from Menake, 9 toes, 1 trailer, all heart. In all seriousness, give as much as you can. He lives in a shit box. We also plan to We also plan to renovate his trailer and give this decent guy a home fit for a human being.
See, here's the problem with that trailer.
You need a human being for that?
What an ass you are. Here's the problem. I dabbled in construction for a while there, Opie. So from what I saw on videotape, this thing is irreparable. There is no renovating this trailer. First of all, it's an actual trailer.
Oh, yeah.
Trailer.
There's
no renovating it. There's no clearing it out, putting new stud work. The whole framework of this thing is a rusted, decrepit mess. It should be condemned. A drug addict shouldn't be living in this thing.
Since it's technically a vehicle, it would be called totaled.
His home is totaled. You know what I like that wasn't really mentioned on the air was the duct tape that you have in your bathtub. From the wall to the bathtub, where there's usually caulking, where nice tile work meet the tub and there's caulking there, it's like drywall. Just some kind of drywall in the shower.
Actually, it's a coated board.
Coated board. Yeah, it's coated with more mildew than I've ever seen.
That's not mildew. It was coated, and then underneath it's brown. It's a brown piece of board, and from cleaning it, don't laugh at that.
I'm laughing.
From cleaning it, the yellow wore off, and you see the brown underneath. It's not mildew, because mildew has a specific smell, and I do not have mildew.
All right, I wasn't there.
The spores are in your lungs.
Yeah, I wasn't there. I don't know, but I did see the duct tape.
Hey, we got a contractor that wants to help you out, Pat. What's your email address for these people? Because then there's another guy who wants to do Pimp My Trailer with you.
Ooh.
How do they get a hold of you?
Me?
Yeah.
I guess MySpace. MySpace, Pat from Menake.
Pat from Menake. MySpace.
Yeah.
Right.
MySpace / Pat from Menake. And you got to know how to spell Menake. So,
Moonachiie.
Yeah, it's like Munachi.
Menake.
Hey, Jacob, what's up?
How you doing, guys?
Hey.
Long time fan. Listen, I'm a general contractor in Central Jersey. I do mostly, renovating on really awful houses. And I'd love to help Pat out. I spoke with my guys. A lot of guys are, willing to help him out. I'd like to get in touch with Pat,
all right.
Get his address, go out there to take a look at it.
Hey, when you find the bones of dead hookers, are you going to report it?
That depends. If they're all...
That's why I bury them at a different location.
All right, Jacob, you can get a hold of him through MySpace, okay?
All right.
Pat from Menake at MySpace.
Thank you very much.
Listen to
Hopefully we'll get something going for him.
All right. Pat?
I just wanted to make clear that I do not want money from ONA fans.
All right, but you'll take it.
No.
You should take a little of it.
How about some eggnog?
Just take a little of it.
You need it.
All right, Pat.
Actually, you give it to Patty. I authorize transfer to Patty for her rent.
You need it.
Yeah, you need a little
stop being
help.
a martyr. Your life is fucked up, and you need help.
And the listeners will help you.
Well, can't argue with that.
They're good that way. All right, Pat. We'll all check out Pat from Menaki Cribs up on opieandanthony.com. Thanks, Pat.
Thank you.
There he goes.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Okay.
Never
He's
knew
like
how
an
appropriate.
insecure, like Curly Howard.
Yeah.
Instead of he just kind of.
He's just never knew how appropriate that car crash was, though. Every time he talks, because that trailer, swear to you, looks like it has been in a wreck, in some type of highway wreck.
I didn't know anybody like in the immediate New York City area lived in a trailer.
He lives right by Teterboro Airport, so during the segment, you're constantly hearing jet planes taking off. Like, he's just, every bad thing about a place to live is there where he is. Location, the trailer, he rents a slab. It's a slab of concrete that you pull your trailer on and hook the water up and the power, and it's something like $700 a month he pays for this.
Yeah.
For a hovel.
All right. Bill Burr sitting in for Jim Norton. On the way, we'll do the XM thing. This is really great audio. That's why we call ourselves brilliant broadcasters. We'll do it next. We saw that satellite radio was going to be a real problem when we were doing commercial radio. And E-Rock, while we were in Vegas, he dug up some old tape of us just losing our minds because the station we were on at the time, WNEW in New York, they were accepting XM commercials that we had to play during our show. And we just lost our mind. Absolutely, because we saw the future. It was right there. And the station was too dumb to see it for themselves. And we couldn't believe that. So we got that on the way. Also, free radio ads by celebrities. We love this. They're trying to combat. They're trying to combat, I guess.
Yeah.
Trying to
combat.
Mm-hmm. I'm losing it. I'm getting sicker by the hour. I'm not even kidding you. I'm losing my mind. Anyway, we got celebrities doing free radio. You know, how radio should be free.
Should be free, man.
And these commercials are hilarious because they're just stupid. Mm-hmm. They're just stupid, and they're
They
not.
must be getting scared now. All of a sudden.
Absolutely, they're getting scared.
It was nothing before. It was just, it's a thing, it's a fad. That'll go away.
You know what that's like? That's like network TV when, like, cable first came out.
Yeah. Exactly.
Home box office.
Yeah.
And when you read those friggin' message boards, the radio message boards, New York radio message board, they always say, whenever anybody brings up the network TV, cable TV analogy, as far as the terrestrial radio and satellite radio go, they go, that's something completely different. What?
No, it isn't.
How?
It's the exact same thing.
It is so exact same thing. It is not completely different. Same thing.
Yeah.
People saying that no one's going to pay for it. It's something you can get for free. Why are you going to pay? Why? Because the quality's better. You're getting better stuff.
Well, it's great audio. It's a great look back because we just lose our minds. And then we talked to our big boss on the radio, and he had some dumb things to say at the time.
Of course he did.
And then we got the listeners. They've started their own anti-free FM ads because we're fighting back.
Yes, why not with our listeners?
Yeah, because regular radio is, doing these anti-satellite radio ads. So now our listeners are doing anti-free FM ads. So very racist.
Free radio is great, man. You get to listen to half-hour commercials every hour.
Yeah.
And you have your choice of 8 different songs that they're playing that month.
8 different songs, commercials that never end. Even the last refuge that you had, the news stations. And I've talked about this in the past, the news stations, where you used to be able to pop on, get the quick headlines on my drive-in. I got like a 20-minute drive-in, not bad at all. But during that time, I was able to get every friggin' headline from the day, traffic, weather, every bit of info I needed on terrestrial news radio here, 1010 wins. Now, it's 3 or 4 morbid hospital commercials. When he got the cancer diagnosis, he went to North Shore Medical Center. I love the comparative one that they've been doing.
Yeah.
It's like, John had a brain aneurysm. Peter had a brain aneurysm. John went to Bob's hospital on the corner of the road. Bob went to North Shore Medical Center. Jim is now sitting there a blubbering, drooling idiot without it. Bob is biking and enjoying life again.
Bob is back at work.
With the morbid piano music in the background.
Only had to take 2
it's
sick
like the
days.
Coke and Pepsi wars.
Yeah. It's and it used to be once in a while they would do that, but it was mostly news stories. Now they pile on these morbid commercials.
I can't even tell you how many times. One day we're going to have to sit down and figure this out. How many times we've almost gotten fired, and then we finally did get fired, right?
Yeah, I remember.
Well, we got fired twice now, but there are so many times that we almost got fired. And one was when these cancer ads were being played on our show, and we're trying to do a comedy show. And we're like, this is depressing as shit. It's bringing everyone's mood down. We're afternoon drive. Everyone's driving back home. We got to keep it lively and funny, right?
It was the guy from Staten Island.
Yes,
Staten Island.
Who got in trouble with the whole.
He got in trouble a few times over a lot of things, misrepresentation, and then the big thing was the
George Harrison.
George Harrison actually went to this hospital that this guy worked for this stereotactic radial surgery. And
tumors of the neck, eyelids, nostrils, and earlobes.
This guy would talk about tumors.
He would talk about tumors you never knew you could get.
Never knew.
You could get a tumor of the back of the what?
If you have metastases of the neck, head, chest, ear, if you have cancer of the kneecap, the calf, the heel, the toenail.
That's a really good impression. That was the delivery.
If you have a tumor in your waist.
Yeah. In your waist, neck, intestine, liver. It was just this morbid thing. Ben cracks up. He knows the guy's name, the story. He actually, when George Harrison had a huge brain tumor, he didn't even know who the fuck he was. This guy brought in a guitar
to have George
sign it before he died. This is the friggin' guy that was in charge over there, and that got him booted out. But what an ethical fucking asshole this guy is.
So the guy was spending a lot of money on our commercial radio show, and with this delivery,
the
no
best
music
thing was,
behind it,
no bed. Right. There's no bed, no little piano music. It was just him going. And I can't remember his name, Cy something, or I don't know. But it was always, if you have cancer, we have stereotactic radiosurgery that pinpoints the tumors and shrinks them in size. Most people get results they are looking for in reduction of tumors of the neck, head, chest, inner ear, thigh, nostril. Every friggin' and he's just talking about tumors and everything. Dry delivery just like that, no backup music.
So we decided, the commercial needed backup music.
To see how it would change this guy's morbid delivery, how important music is.
Right.
And how it changes things. So we decided to put
circus music.
First we did the circus music.
Then Benny Hill music.
And it really did change it. We tried morbid music, too, and it made it even more morbid and scary.
Yeah.
But then the happier the music, it kind of made it a fun little delivery.
And it was a great bit. We did it for a half hour, 40 minutes, whatever.
Oh, boy.
Man. Had no idea the guy was spending, I don't know, millions
Do you
of dollars.
understand how many millions are spent by this hospital on a yearly basis, and now they want to pull the ads because of you? Do you think Mel Karmazin wants to hear that you guys have lost millions of dollars in revenue? Because I'd like to have that speech to put some music behind it, fun circus music.
While we're at it, why won't you leave Howard alone? He's crying big time.
We heard you talk about cabbage and mayonnaise. Was that a reference to Howard Stern?
We need to
Because
know.
he's very angry, and we know that you...
Because Howard thinks it is, and we need to get back to him and kiss his ass a little more.
And he's freaking out.
All right. So why don't we take a break? We'll do the XM satellite radio spots from the old days. They're really good. And then we'll get into the free radio ads and the anti-free FM ads. All right?
Righty, right.
Oh, yeah. Pat O'Brien, that's what this break started with, the Pat O'Brien sex tapes? Well, we got one of the remixes that we really like, the whole Let's Go Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like it's brand new to someone today, but I don't know. One of our guys,
old.
I think it was Derek, came up with this like 8 months ago. Check it out.
Saved message Sunday, 7:09 p.m.
Hey, it's me. I don't know what's wrong with me and why I'm like this, but I want to fucking go crazy with you. I'm so fucking into you. You're so fucking hot. I want to lick your pussy and make you come and suck your tits. I want to fucking make you fucking crazy. Look at me and say yes. Say yes or wait. please just go to the bathroom and leave me a voicemail. Bye. I want to suck your pussy, fuck dirty Jew, feed off your face, higher on the earth. So fucking hot. You are fucking hot. I wanna fuck you. I wanna fucking go crazy with you. Go crazy with you. I wanna fucking go crazy with you.
Do you realize who you hired?
He's a disruptive influence.
Anthony. He happens to be a dwarf.
What horrible people.
Our new bosses said you guys can get as crazy as you want.
They keep creating new ways to celebrate mediocrity.
The Opie and Anthony Show.
It's psychotic.
All right, you're checking out the Opie and Anthony program. Bill Burr in studio. You were going to have a DVD? We should talk about that because we have stories.
I was gonna make a DVD this weekend out at the Punchline. So the guy
in San Francisco, you'll be at the Punchline?
Yeah, we'll be there this week, Tuesday through Saturday. Sorry.
You're starting tomorrow?
Yeah.
So you're going to be there just all week like that?
Yeah.
Nice. That's a little different for you, no?
The whole week? Yeah. Well, I mean, I was going to make this fucking DVD, and this guy gives me the price. He says it's going to be $3,000 a night to shoot. So I go, it's kind of high. And he's like, throws out Fillmore and all these bands he's done and all that shit. So I'm like, all right, I want it to look good. I don't want it to be some piece of shit, somebody's going to buy. So, yes, like 2 days ago, he sends me the email with the final costs. And he goes, sorry it took me so long to get back to you. I have a big hole in the side of my house. He's putting an addition on his house, which is the first fucking red flag.
Big red flag.
So then he goes, so it's going to be $6,000 plus you got to pay the crew their hourly wage. You got to pay their meals. You have to pay for their parking, and you have to pay for the tape and the camera. So I'm like, dude, that's kind of encompasses everything you need for a video shoot. So what is that first $6,000 for, other than for the addition on your house, you asshole?
Yeah, you got to pay $6,000 for the shoot, and then you have to pay for everything for the shoot.
Yes, exactly.
But okay.
So how much was it going to cost you?
I don't even know at the end of that. It was so vague.
That sounds very expensive.
Yeah, that's all of a sudden. It's like, dude, I'm not Scorsese here. It's a 2-camera shoot.
Dude, the parking would cost a fortune.
All you got to do is set the camera up.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm doing cartwheels and running into the crowd.
It's Mick Jagger on one of those big stages running side to side.
Some slow close-ups and stuff. Get a little dramatic with your act.
How many cameras?
2. It was going to be a 2-camera shoot.
2 cameras.
And I said no crowd shots because I hate when you hear the crowd's laughing. Here, let me show it to you. So I was just like, and I was just basic. It's not even going to be edited. Then I had to take it after that. I had to bring it and find someone here to edit it.
You just get the raw tape.
The raw tape, yeah.
Somebody else edits it, and they don't do that for free. And they probably have a hole in the side of their house.
Yeah, so then he sends me back this reel. I'm sorry if I misrepresented what the price.
Well, the editing will cost $3,000, but you do have to pay for the editing machine, the editor's time, his car payment for that month,
and the
his
editing,
food, and the editing,
and the razor blades.
Yeah,
old school, a little old school there. So, did you cancel? DVD
I said yeah.
You're damn straight he did.
That's too bad. I think the world needs a Bill Burr DVD.
I'm thinking maybe I'll do it when I'm down in D.C. at the Improv.
Yeah.
Right. The phones have video now, like video phones. If you just
is that right?
Get a few fans. You get like a 20-camera shoot from people in the front row. You edit all that together, every 15-second snippet.
Let me ask you this. How much is that going to cost me?
Well, you got to buy all the phones, so it's like a couple of $100 a clip.
No, the initial is going to cost you $5,000.
The initial's going to be $5,000. Plus, you gotta, the people gotta eat when they're at the comedy club.
You gotta buy phone chargers.
You gotta buy a month of their phone bill. And then you just get the raw video off of their phone from their websites. Then you got to download.
So we're going to start with $5,000, and then I'll bill you in the end. I'll let you know what it is.
Very expensive.
That should have been a movie right there. Then you smash cut to the contractor. Yeah, it's going to be another 3 weeks. You want ceiling fans? Oh, okay.
It just keeps going.
Just adding to
the contractor's daughter's got to go to college.
Yeah.
Just goes back where somehow you're paying for a probe that's going to Mars in the long run. Just this chain of events.
You're not lying. My brother's dealing with that with the restaurant.
Really?
Oh, the contractors are just killing us.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be one thing, and now it's another thing. And
always another thing.
Then they're adding this on, and oh no, that was for just this part of the job.
Oh, and they leave it totally open-ended. It's like, here's the initial cock in your ass price.
Right.
And then we'll let you know if there'll be any hair pulling or eye gouging afterwards.
Then you have no choice because the job's half done.
Yeah,
and unless you give such and such, we can't finish the job.
Yeah.
And you can't fire that guy because then you got to fire another contractor. It's like, you're fucked.
Mm-hmm.
Restaurant opening in about a week, though. About a week.
I want to be at the grand opening.
Yes, you'll be there.
I want to sample.
You'll be there. A little restaurant in Huntington, Long Island.
Cuisine.
Called F.H. Riley's.
Right in Huntington?
Right in Huntington, yeah.
I might not be able to go. How much of a goof would that be? Hey, this is a new fucking place. Why don't I come in here and see what the food's fucking like? Hey, asshole, what the fuck are you doing here?
Hey, here's a bar I haven't been kicked out of yet in Huntington.
Oh, great. Does it have a bar?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good. Now, long before her picture's up behind it. This person is not to be served.
Here's some good news. I found a bar I haven't been kicked out of yet.
I like the side of tab.
Fucking pictures up in the bars like Dillinger was in the post office. It's just, do not serve this person.
So, F.H. Riley's in Huntington, yeah. Stop by and say hi to my brother. He's working his ass off.
Your fucking brother.
Oh, yeah. Please.
Have fun.
Please, have fun.
No, I will absolutely be there.
Yeah, I'll have details in the coming days, but getting very close. All right, we got the XM satellite radio ads. These are great. This is why we're brilliant broadcasters. We see the future. We saw the future many years ago before we fucked up on commercial radio.
I see flying cars and Mylar suits in the next 10 years. Everybody's going to be wearing Mylar suits. We will have flying cars. We got this right.
Yeah, we certainly did get this right.
We can predict the future now.
So just to give you the setup, before we became the pioneers of satellite radio, Anthony and I were doing the old commercial radio thing.
Way back when. Barely remember what that was like.
We were very successful, syndicated across America in some fine markets, and then we blew it up.
Might have heard of a little town called Boston.
That's right.
Might have heard a little hamlet of Philadelphia.
Let's not forget Columbus, Ohio.
Can't we, please? And, of course, New York City, the crossroads of the world, perhaps.
How about Vegas?
How about Vegas?
Philly, D.C., Dallas, San Francisco, Seattle.
How about a chilly little place called Buffalo, New York?
Buffalo and Rochester, New York. There you have it.
Just a few of the markets. That was everyone. How about New Orleans?
New Orleans, that's right.
Cleveland.
Chicago.
Dallas, Texas.
I said Dallas already.
I like to say Dallas, so I said it again.
All right. Sacramento, California.
Sacramento.
Anyway, so we're doing quite well, and everybody wanted to advertise on our show. Even XM satellite radio.
They knew.
They knew.
They knew the demo we held, the power we held with it. They knew who they wanted initially when the satellite started up.
And right off the bat, this goes back easily 3 years. Right off the bat, we're like, this is the future of radio. It's growing by leaps and bounds. This is definitely competition. We have to look at it as competition right off the bat.
What did you honestly think when you first heard, like, satellite radio, you can say whatever the hell you want? Weren't you thinking somewhere, I want to be on that?
Absolutely. But at the time, first of all, we were in a contract. Second of all,
we were doing really well.
We were doing really well, and satellite radio was still kind of just growing, you know?
There only had, at this point, they only had a few 100,000 listeners.
Probably, yeah. Probably less than 1 million.
Yeah, it had to be less than 1 million.
Yeah. I don't even know.
Over 3, dude. We were off for 2 fucking years.
So this is over 3, maybe
probably
3.5, 4 years ago.
I'm sure they had under 1 million listeners and subscribers. And, you know, to go over there, it was almost, everyone was equating it to, like, E-Yada, that online radio, where, you know, 50 people at a time could listen, and then it started clipping. And people on it were, like, approaching us and going, dude, it's the future. Is this internet radio? And I'm like, you know, no, it's not.
No, I can't get my computer on the dashboard, so...
Can't get it in the car, especially at that point. Yeah, you couldn't do that. So, no, it wasn't. We weren't considering it.
Right.
Timing-wise, it worked out perfectly.
What's interesting about this goes back, like I said, 3 to 4 years ago, and guys on regular radio today are still denying that satellite radio is going to be anything.
Yep.
Dummies. A bunch of dummies out there. So, we did not feel good about taking the XM satellite radio ads as we're doing our commercial radio show.
We let it be known.
And we let it be known, and they're like, just shut up and play the commercials. Right? And one day, we had it. We absolutely had it. So the commercial's playing for XM satellite radio, and the commercials saying how great XM is, and I just turned on the mics and said, fuck this.
100 digital channels of music.
The competition
news,
is now advertising on our show,
coast
Anthony.
to coast. So whether you're into hip-hop or
we
bebop,
have sales force that work in this
rock
building.
stars or stock cars, you'll hear more, know more, and go deeper than you ever did before.
What I'm hooked on right now is bluesville. They have a wide variety of things I've never heard before. I could drive all the way to New York, never have to change the channel.
It's easy to add XM to any existing car stereo.
Turn off the Opie Anthony show,
$300.
satellite
Visit your local electronics store for a demonstration. Learn more at xmradio.com.
It is absolutely fabulous.
Beyond AM,
This is
beyond
the competition.
FM, XM,
Wake up!
radio to the power of X. Price may vary by model and retailer. Some models require additional installation fee, and tenant subscription also required.
Douchebag!
What are you doing this New Year's Eve?
Isn't that amazing?
Opie's just yelling like a maniac right over the commercial.
Isn't that amazing, though?
That wasn't a recording, by the way, of the commercial playing and then Opie off-air ranting about it.
Oh, no, that was on the air.
That is how it aired.
That's how their fine commercial aired. XM should get their money back for that one.
They did when they signed us.
Just letting the Trojan horse come rolling in.
Yeah.
God.
Hey, this is a pretty horse for them to lead for us.
Just to put it in perspective, that would be like us running ads for Howard for the other satellite radio company.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Taking their money and going,
same thing.
Well, it's money, it's revenue, who cares? It's the competition.
And that's what their the party line was over at Infinity was, hey, they're paying for it. We'll air their commercials. They saw it as no threat. They saw it. They had no vision that this was going to do anything.
Yeah.
And they just saw it as, hey, take their money.
Oh, it's so short-sighted. You got to be cutthroat.
Well, cutthroat.
Fuck you.
Right?
Advertise on the internet.
It gets better. So then when we were done with our 15 minutes of commercials, we finally got to go back to our regular show, and this is how we got back into it. We're back with the Opie and Anthony show. Oi! And it's official. We have a bunch of whores that work for this company. That's for sure. Holy S! We're running a spot on the Opie and Anthony show for satellite radio.
Yeah, satellite radio. You know, it's the new...
and no one has a problem with this in this company? That's called the competition. Right. And they're advertising during our show, telling people basically that they have another option out there.
That all over, like, no matter where you drive, you won't lose the signal. They're talking about all this great stuff that you don't get by listening to the very station that's advertising it. Who gave the okay to take that?
Bunch of whores. Hard enough to compete in this day and age in radio, and now they're just going to run spots for the competition on our show. And they have no problem with this whatsoever. So there you go. Just so you're not confused, that's us, 4 years ago about on regular radio, just losing our minds because they're running XM spots during our show.
And it was so obvious that people were starting to get excited about satellite radio. It was something that, as we were listening to it, you'd say to yourself, wow, that does sound cool. You get all kinds of formats of music. You could drive coast to coast and not have to change the station once if you don't want to.
Right.
It's not regulated by the FCC.
Right.
This is fan-fucking-tastic.
And this proves we're brilliant broadcasters, because now 3-4 years later, regular radio is in deep trouble.
In deep trouble, and
they could have controlled it a little bit if they were smart enough to see what was coming 4 years ago.
They still advertise, though, right? They still allow them to advertise?
No. Finally, they've turned the corner, most of these radio companies, and they will not accept spots for satellite radio. Finally. Wow. It continues.
They're making spots against satellite radio now.
Exactly.
Now, the same stations that were airing, hey, this satellite radio is great. Come on over. We'd love to have you. Are now going, hey why pay for radio? Now they're all... Why pay for fucking radio, man? You don't want to pay for it.
Well, we got the famous one. We got like 10 of them, but here's the one we really like.
Here's some of the same stations that were running the commercials you just heard.
Right. Now this is today what they're doing on regular radio.
In music news, you'll never believe who was arrested on stage last night for performing a lewd act. It was so outrageous, we can't even describe it on the radio. You might expect this behavior from heavy metal or rap stars, but this time the guilty party is none other than the easy listening sensation.
Please deposit 25 cents for the next 3 minutes.
Radio. You shouldn't have to pay for it. This message brought to you by America's 13,000 local radio stations who believe some things were just meant to be free.
A bit hypocritical, isn't it?
Don't pay no attention to those commercials we aired 3 or 4 years ago. We really didn't mean it. We were just in for the cash.
That's right. I bought a new boat from that money.
So outrageous, we can't even tell you on the radio.
Yeah, they're still not getting it right.
But they can on satellite, by the way.
Yeah.
You know how she was saying?
Edited in the old XM commercial there.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So then going back, here's us on commercial radio. Really pissed off because we have XM commercials on our show. We discuss it more here.
They bought our show because we have a huge audience, okay?
Yeah.
And the commercial's basically telling everyone that you don't need to, listen to Opie and Anthony. There's other choices out there. Why don't they just run a commercial with every other show that is on, against us?
Yeah.
And then have the listeners decide, well, I'm going to try out a couple of these shows.
I got an idea. Here's what he's going to say. Oh, they're not going to do well. It's just like that click radio and the e-yada and all the internet radio thing that failed. So we'll take a little bit of their money. And it'll just fail anyway. But the thing is, it's not like internet radio. It's going to be installed in cars and stuff.
Oh, that HBO, it'll never catch on.
That'll never catch on.
It's silly. People paying for TV, it'll never happen.
If man were meant to fly, he'd have wings.
That is a huge insult, man. I hope they're getting a lot of money to whore themselves out like that.
Man can't ride on trains. Don't you know if a human being exceeds 30 miles an hour, he will surely perish? They used to think that.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It really is.
So there you go. We're back here on XM.
It's pretty impressive.
Kind of taking a look at the old days 4 years ago when they accepted XM spots on our very successful commercial radio show.
We had the vision. We knew that this was going to be successful.
We always have the vision.
We know where the next
brilliant
step
broadcasters.
is.
People just don't realize that yet. And that's our frustration every day. Finally, I had it. You're going to hear a curse. And you're listening to satellite radio, so whatever, curse. Just remember... Going back about 3 or 4 years, this is on commercial radio, but I was just losing my mind. I just couldn't understand why they would do this to us. Radio's really the best part. Yeah, I got to stop the tape. The best part, there's good old Ben Sparks in the background laughing like an idiot.
Years ago, cackling Ben included.
Just in case you thought this was the new Ben on XM, no, he's been laughing like an idiot for many years for us. Many years.
Radio's really getting pathetic. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
This used to be a business where every radio station was for themselves, and they just literally fought on the street. We used to get in fights because someone else's van was parked outside the venue for a concert. Now all the stations are owned by the same person or the same company, and they don't want you talking bad about this station or that station because you're going to hurt the company. It's making radio so bland and boring.
Yeah.
And now on top of that, they don't mind taking advertising dollars from the competition.
Right.
They see no problem with this.
Holy shit! They don't see a problem with this?
Will there be cursing over this satellite radio? Because I might want to gig over there.
I'm sure.
I want to gig over there.
You know.
It's not regulated.
And here we are back on XM.
Look at that. I want to gig over there.
Cursing on
Asking you shall
radio.
receive.
Should hand that tape into the FCC. We got away with one back then.
Whoa.
Someone is requesting, let me go to Pete. I haven't heard this stuff in a long time. Pete in Rhode Island. Pete?
Yes.
Hey.
Yeah, I was wondering if you guys could play the clip where you get your bigger boss on the phone and he's like, oh, don't worry about XM. No, they're nothing.
Oh, Ken Stevens. I think that's the next clip we got here.
Oh, excellent.
All right. Thank you, Pete.
Thanks.
I don't remember how this went down, but then we just would not go on with our show. We were obsessed with this whole, playing XM commercials on our commercial radio show. And finally, we got Ken Stevens, our general manager, on the phone.
What a set of balls when you have the ratings that we had over there. Because you could just do anything except have a couple fucking church. But besides that, I mean, anything.
Right. But yeah, we're cursing.
Yeah.
I don't think we got in trouble for that. So we got Ken Stevens. He was the guy running the station at the time. He was one of our really good friends over there.
Yeah, we like Ken.
That's stuck up for us on many occasions with that whole stupid Howard battle. But here's Ken explaining the XM ads to us.
So the question is, somebody said to me, you're wondering why we're taking these XM satellite ads?
Very good. You actually understood the question also, Ken Stevens. Yes. Why are we advertising
for satellite radio?
An option to listening to this very program.
Pretend for a minute that you don't know anything about the radio business, and you're just the average guy listening in your car to those XM radio spots.
Okay.
Do they make any sense to you?
Hold on, let me put myself in there, Ken. You asked us for a lot, and you're not giving us time.
Sorry.
Hold on. Okay, I'm sitting. Opie, sit.
So you're saying advertising doesn't work and no one should advertise on radio?
Maybe it's your show. No.
Holy
He's also basically talking down to the listeners.
Right.
They're a bunch of morons.
They don't understand words like satellite. It's something up in space, and they don't know that. You got to be a rocket scientist to know about satellites. Jesus Christ,
Meanwhile,
Ken.
the ad completely explains it.
And
they have everyday Joes going, I can get in my car and drive all the way across the country.
You want to hear
ABCs of satellite radio.
You want to hear any format you want from coast to coast without changing the dial? Satellite radio. All right.
Wait, you got to slow that down, man.
Wait.
I'm just the average everyday guy. I can't take in words that quick.
I didn't understand what you meant by format of music.
Fuck, I should have taped the show. Then I could rewind it.
Oh, is that a poor argument he is?
I nailed him so bad.
Advertising doesn't work. No. It's just fine. Keep it coming.
Going back to the tape, I know I'm saying this a million times, but there are dummies out there. This is us on commercial radio discussing why are we playing XM commercials.
It's your show. No. I think that if you listen to the commercials the way we're running them, they're not awfully attractive.
Did you hear the one
How many of your friends are going to go out and spend whatever, what does it say?
On now insert color TV here, insert radio here, insert car here, where he is going to say, are going to buy this right now? I don't know.
Insert Xbox instead of PlayStation.
Right. Insert any new technology. Ken, did you hear the one part in that commercial where he says, boy, I could drive through New York and I don't have to change the station?
No, I heard the one where he said, and my favorite is the Blues Channel.
Right. Where he can
I'm not really worried about losing a whole lot of audience to the Blues Channel.
Oh, well, not, Ken. Huh?
Wow, you
when
guys.
Those ratings come out and they're down, who will be getting yelled at?
Hey, you know what? If your ratings are down and your audience has moved over to satellite radio, I'll stop taking those commercials.
But it's a little here, a little there. It adds up after a while.
Absolutely.
Good.
Wow. Here on XM.
I don't think I've ever seen you guys so 100% in the right.
Isn't it so cool that it is almost like me and Opie went into a DeLorean. We reached 88 miles an hour, went to the future, came back, and just shoved it in Ken's face. We have seen it.
And you know how many people did come over to XM with
everything
us?
he said, like, well, little by little,
add up. It adds up. The programming. Oh, it's the blues channel. Yeah, well, some people want to hear that. There's
Plus,
plenty
what
of
I also love is you guys would get in trouble for shitting on the people who advertise, and that's exactly what he's doing here. Going,
Yeah.
Hey, if you listen to those ads stink.
They don't even make sense.
They don't even make sense.
I didn't understand a word.
Bill, it's called...
And their product stinks. I wouldn't listen to the blues channel.
I don't think we're going to... If your ratings go down because of satellite, I'll stop taking the ads.
Bill, it's called chipping away. Chipping away.
Ting, 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 ting.
We're big fans of chipping away.
Chip.
You know, he had to take the call from the guy who was paying for the ads for XM right after that. Then he go, okay, wait a second. I want you to just imagine that you don't know anything about advertising.
Yeah. He's always wanting us to imagine something.
Yeah.
Picture, if you will.
Right.
A world in which...
Right. No,
people who speak English do not understand it.
We love the chipping away concept. We've been chipping away at Howard's credibility for years and his hypocrisies.
Satellite radio. It's not going to go anywhere. They barely got up that Sputnik thing.
Right.
You think they're going to be able to get a satellite up there that plays music?
It continues. We ended up giving these guys a 20 to 30-minute commercial that day.
We helped them
You're
out.
going to leave cars at the airport and rent them, and people are going to...
That'll never fly. People want to have the comfort of their own vehicle.
Right.
They'll have a relative who could pick them up. Craziness.
Not going to want that. Why would people want a turbine jet engine when they propeller is perfectly fine on these aircraft? Get cross country in a day.
They're too noisy, and people are not going to like them.
Why would you want
the propeller gives people a comfort factor. They see it
Who would want to go to the bathroom in their own house?
When a perfectly good outhouse is right outside, keeping the stink and stench out of doors.
Fertilizing your backyard.
Why would you want a direct flight to Vegas when you could go all the way to L.A. and then go to Vegas after having one of your tickets canceled?
People like seeing different cities, even ones that they don't want to go to.
Why would you want to fly into the airport that has your car? That's just plain stupid.
That is ridiculous.
When you could fly to another airport
it's
and then
still an airport.
drive from that airport to the airport where your car is
I want you to imagine for a second you know nothing about travel.
Right. Imagine you're sitting on a plane that's going where you don't want to go.
That's right.
And you're just
you don't have to imagine. You were there.
That's why, Don, I'm so tough, because I'm sick of working with dummies.
Wow.
That's why.
Jiminy Cricket.
You went for big air on that one.
Dummies.
Lots and
foul
lots
language.
Of dummies. We're proving that we're brilliant broadcasters right here and now. We have the vision.
We can see into the future.
Just trust us.
That was pretty damn impressive.
Thing.
I got to give you that.
That was very
We got more. We got more, because then there's a question here. Could ONA go to satellite?
Oh, Jesus.
So going back in time, we're doing our commercial radio show, discussing why they're playing XM commercials on our show.
And do you know that it's going to be an option on all new model cars?
Let me ask you something.
By the way, we also did our research.
Right.
We study this fucking business. We know our enemies. We pay attention. So when someone is saying, you're going to be running XM commercials, we're not going to sit there like every other dumb jock in America and go, oh, okay. We actually did our research and found out as much info as possible. And Anthony is like, this whole going to be an option in new cars.
That's what frightened me the most. Is I could see something if you had to take all kinds of wires and gadgets and gizmos that it was never really going to take off anywhere past just the geek or tech guy or something like that. But when I heard that these things were going to be factory installed with your AM, FM radio, satellite radio available right there, just like AM and FM, I was like, oh boy, now there's trouble.
But I love the bravado of this. He starts every answer with this little John Wayne.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was how Ken operated.
Let me tell you something.
We
buddy.
love him.
And Ken wasn't just any general manager. He was one of the bigwigs.
Yeah.
He was one of the most powerful general managers in Infinity Broadcasting. Here we go again.
And do you know that it's going to be an option on all new model cars?
Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
You got that newfangled cable or satellite in your house?
You need money this bad,
right?
Kate?
With all
you want us
those
to give some of the money back?
there,
yeah,
including the Blues Channel.
I think it's great, as a matter of fact. And if you look at broadcast TV, the ratings down pretty low because of cable.
Answer my question.
Yeah, I do.
You did so when you're sort of walking around the house, instead of turning on the radio, you turn on channel 956 and listen to the blues channel or the kids channel? Or
I believe there's enough people that do it that chip away.
There's my TV and there's my radio, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not watching TV in my car.
Why assume all this, Ken? Do we need the money that bad?
Yeah. Hey, we're in the...
Why don't we just list all the shows that are on opposite us? Because that's what you just did. You're killing us.
I took out the one where XM wanted to run the spot that said you were boring. I didn't run that one.
Really?
Yeah, no, I stuck to the one that said
and the
blues channel.
The company has no problem with this?
I guess not.
Must have been a big buy.
It must have been huge.
It wasn't.
Well, they probably will now that you've made an issue out of it.
Uh-oh, it was supposed to be under the radar.
Oh, yeah, that's because our listeners are stupid.
And this thing is something that's Ken has dubbed newfangled.
Newfangled.
So I don't think it'll take off.
I don't think you guys were paying attention, but that's okay.
Oh, God. All right, Ken. Well, thank you.
That wasn't what I said.
Thank you for clearing that up for us.
I mean, if you're really certain that you're losing listeners to that blues channel on satellite radio, I'll stop taking the commercials.
That's all he had was that reference.
Just didn't.
Blues channel.
He did not see the freight train barreling down, man.
Do you think he's just holding the company line, or he really believed that?
I think he really believed it. I think they all did. All the heads, and this went right up to Mel Karmazin, who had the same ideology, who was, no ad for a competing form of entertainment would be taken if the word wasn't handed down by Mel. So he didn't see it either. And now he's the head of the doggy company. So he obviously changed his tune.
Exactly. Well, we have one more clip here. It's quick. Going back again. This is like 4 years ago.
There was a day when sales didn't control radio, Anthony. It now controls it. I remember a time that they would fight with the competition, but now they welcome the business of the competition on their airwaves.
Let's see, hundreds of distortion-free channels that travel with you being offered in high-end cars driven by decision makers. Ken's right, it'll never catch on.
Guys, I'll be doing a gig tonight, but, I don't want to talk about it. Let's plug Rich Voss.
Yeah,
I'll be in Poughkeepsie.
I wonder if, at some point, they'll make deals with people like us to carry our show, if people want that as an alternative no matter where they drive. But then it says, okay, what about if you're driving through an area that we're on at a regular radio station and you can get it on satellite? Where's the revenue coming from? It just throws a whole bunch of
Following the logic of this, I'm just assuming that this great company of ours is buying satellite radio.
Well,
something, they're jumping the gun.
It makes sense.
But you know what?
Get it up there and
they're probably not buying satellite radio.
No?
But instead, they're running ads for the competition, and no one sees anything wrong with that. Joe, what's going on?
Yo, guys, what's happening?
Hey,
listen, I just want to know, can you repeat everything you said? I lost the signal, man.
That's classic, you dick.
Very good.
And there you have it. We're back live here on XM. Isn't that just amazing?
Visionaries.
Visionaries, yes.
Yes.
We just don't say we're brilliant broadcasters. We show it to you.
If that was like a made-for-TV movie, I'd be like, that's... one person...
So far-fetched.
Yeah, like... no one's ever that wrong. Like whenever they do the made-for-TV movies, it's always like, let me tell you something, Terry Bradshaw, you're never going to be a quarterback, and you certainly will not win any championships. And then you're like, no one ever fucking said that. That is just over-dramatizing of this to sell this show, and that's literally what went down. You
exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Ken swaggering. Don't you worry about that, boys.
The Blues Channel.
Oh yeah. Well, let me tell you something. When you go home, and he's trying to relate the two things, being at home and those upper channels where the music channels are.
Yeah.
You hit there, you can listen to 70s, 80s, all kinds of music on your TV or your radio. It is different. I don't listen to those channels on my television. But I have a radio at home, and I listen to satellite radio.
Yeah, I listen to those channels on the TV now.
I've done that.
Because people are starting to chip away at that, too, and realize, oh, wow, I just got to go up here and I could get all these music channels.
But I have XM right there in my living room.
Right. Well,
so
if you got the DirecTV, you got the XM channels right there. So on your TV.
Oh, boy, was Ken so wrong.
And a lot of
I
people...
see nothing with the Sex for Sam thing. Guys, you go right ahead with it. 3 years running. Maybe we should have had someone else in charge.
And a lot of people want to know where Ken Stevens is today.
He's on a boat.
He's sailing the Chesapeake Bay.
He just sails
day in and day out.
That's it.
That's what he does now.
He's
enjoying his retirement, his early retirement.
A golden umbrella. His early retirement that we gave him on a gold platter. And now he's got a golden parachute.
Time to cash in the stock option.
Yep.
Time to go sailing. Whoops.
What do you think he's investing his money in?
Satellite radio.
Yes.
I would guarantee
it's in
he's
his
got
portfolio.
shares of one company or the other.
Yeah.
There is satellite radio in I would guarantee every single radio executive has shares of either XM or Sirius or both. Every single one of them. They bash it. They don't believe in it. They make ads saying don't listen to it, don't buy it.
And I believe most of them
free. And they buy the stock.
And I believe most of them are listening to satellite radio too.
Yeah.
Secretly faxing their resumes over.
Oh, of course, under assumed names.
You know they make good
blind boxes.
Salaries.
They're called.
They make good salaries. These guys, so they probably have newer vehicles where they're factory installs of satellite radio. Do you honestly believe they are trolling through all of those fucking commercials that they can't stand, or they're listening to satellite and listening to the music they want to hear or the talk they want to hear?
Mm-hmm.
They're such hypocrites.
So fast forward to the present. Now we got a hold of some of the free radio ads by celebrities.
Now they're getting the celebrities on board. At first it was just monotone guys saying...
Well, just to follow, at first
free.
they accepted all the satellite radio ads, and now satellite radio has become something. Now they're like, oh, fuck, we got to make anti-satellite radio ads. Dummies.
It really is funny when you look at the whole big picture
They could have taken out a couple steps there, you know, just ignore. The key is to just ignore it. That's what they should have done, is just completely ignore satellite radio.
Yes.
But they actually helped this business grow. They certainly did.
Thank you.
They probably sped it along, who knows, maybe 6 to 8 months, you know. It probably grew that much faster because of what commercial radio was.
That's like being on stage at like Caroline's, and then behind you they have a banner for some other club right down the street.
Another club that's convenient, right there, better.
Yeah, where the comedians are uncensored.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can go see whatever comedian you want to hear.
Right.
Yeah, you just
and in between my act, it would just stop, and there would just be, I don't know, some sort of intermission.
Yeah, it's like saying the waitresses are hotter, showing more cleavage. There's more booze in your drinks. If you're lucky, you'll get 2 for 1, you know. All right, here's Bon Jovi talking about free radio.
Before we saw a million faces and rocked the mall, before we could sell out Giant Stadium, Moscow's Lenin Stadium, or London's Wembley Stadium, before we could close down Times Square just to play for 500,000 people, before my band became a household name, before we sold more than 100 million albums, you heard Bon Jovi on the radio.
Radio. You hear it here first.
That's because when they made it, there was no satellite radio, you fucking idiot.
Is that a good thing?
I don't know what that means.
It doesn't mean anything.
I don't know what that means. They're just so stupid in commercial radio. What does that mean?
Before we discovered a gold rush in California, we rode a Conestoga wagon across the country. Yeah. And
what are they
there's planes now.
What are they trying to accomplish with these ads? What
They're making it seem like Bon Jovi had the option. Do you want to be on free radio or satellite radio didn't exist during the slippery when wet days of 1986, maybe?
And here, just because, you know, everywhere you look, there's hypocrisy. Derek, hit it.
Hi, this is John Bon Jovi, and I'm proud to be one of the 5 million subscribers to the XM Nation.
Wait a minute. Come on, John. What is it?
Yeah, make a stand, man.
John?
We love John Bon Jovi. Make a stand.
What is he? John?
Which is it, man?
That is... He is completely on both ends of the spectrum on that one.
You have to
and
be.
I'm proud.
But you know what you have to be as the artist? Anything. You just,
wherever they're playing your shit, man.
Right.
Wherever they are playing your shit, you gotta smooch that ass.
I've never gotten involved in feuds between different comedy clubs. Like, if you play this club, you play that. No.
Yeah.
Right.
That's your fight.
Yeah. Just lick the ass. There's the XM ass and the free radio ass. Lick them both.
You know, we love going off on tangents here. So Howard's on Larry King talking about hypocrisy. And he has this to say about Bubba.
Love me, Daddy.
Bubba the Love Sponge.
Right?
I'm really not interested in radio, although what's interesting now that I have these channels, I have to listen to talent around the country because we're going to bring some people in. There's a guy starting on my channel called Bubba the Love Sponge. He was thrown off of Clear Channel. Because he was thrown off Clear Channel, I first became attracted to the idea of hiring him, and he's got a funny show, a very different sensibility than mine. He's got more of a redneck kind of show, and those guys get down and dirty. And
all right, that was Howard about a week ago, right? Or a few days ago?
Right.
This is Howard talking about Bubba less than a year ago.
Less than a year.
Why don't they have an award for most jealous and give it to those two guys? Bubba Sponge and the other guy.
Too many candidates.
Moby the Sponge.
Moby Dick.
Moby Dick.
Moby Dick. Well, the crowd started booing. Now,
they should just name themselves Howard Stern.
They
why
should.
Why do they come up with... And the only thing that they do on their own is give themselves a name, and it's always a bad name. It's always a bad... It's a Bubba the Love Sponge. You know, I don't want to be in an industry with a Bubba the Love Sponge.
Oops.
I don't want to go to an award show with a Bubba the Love Sponge. I don't want to be in the same room with Bubba the Love Sponge.
Isn't that just wonderful?
But what happened to... He's a different guy with different sensibilities, and you found him, and then were attracted to him because of what... You know...
Completely
I'm leaving.
Different than me. You guys are killing people today.
I'm leaving the fucking business. We are slaying today.
Yeah, we're slaying.
I could give a fuck if everyone turned this off today. I am enjoying the shit out of listening to this hypocrisy.
It's one thing just to say he's a hypocrite.
Right.
Someone's a hypocrite. When you have fucking audio of somebody actually doing it. Oh,
dude,
my
that
God.
is so... There is no way to explain that away. You can't say, well, what I meant, what... There's no way to explain away the fact that you kissed Bubba's ass, said he's different from you, and you enjoy. He's funny, puts on a funny, different, entertaining show, and then you were just saying he sucks. He's a clone.
Chip. See,
holy
see the chip game right in front of your eyes. We just did
I'm
a little
actually
chip,
trying to roll back some of the audio I've had on this program.
Chip.
Wow. Oh, we'll get it if you come up looking like a hypocrite.
Fuck yeah, we're all about exploiting this shit. Isn't that amazing?
Wow.
Also this.
Actually, what I just said there will be part of the clip someday when you get it.
Of course it will.
I'm waiting for the audio.
Here it is, Bill.
We have it. Now that you're on the fucko list, Red.
Here it is, fucko Burr.
Yeah. It's September 06. I got about 9 months before that happens. Something will happen.
big story today in the newspaper. I opened up the pages, and there was my beautiful daughter in the newspaper. My daughter Emily is my oldest daughter. She's 22 years old, and she's a great kid. And she, went and did a show. I was unaware of the show. I haven't seen the show. Don't know too much about the show.
Unaware because you're an absentee parent.
Love me, Daddy. Love me, Daddy.
Not aware that your daughter was on stage showing her tits? That's a great father.
I believe he's just downplaying.
Vag, dude.
I couldn't take a leak without my parents knowing about it.
Don't know too much about the show. And, evidently she had some falling out with the director. And it's all rather unfortunate because she's a great kid, and like so many people trying to get started in acting, from what she tells me, she put her faith in the director and the cast, and wonderful cast, but kind of made a deal with the director that he wouldn't use her picture for promotional purposes and would single her out. They kind of had a verbal agreement, and she felt very betrayed by this guy.
That's bullshit. It wasn't going to get out that Howard's daughter was getting naked in a dumb play. The audio's up on OpieAnthony.com, and we're looking for your remixes. We talked about that earlier in the program.
Yeah.
All right. By the way, we might have to beat some people up around here. Paul in Cleveland. Paul, what's up?
What's up, fellas?
Hey.
Happy birthday, Billy. I was part of the PR firm that put together those John Bon Jovi spots.
Yeah.
Which one? The one about radio. The one about radio. And that was kind of more like an anti-MP3 player listen to the radio, not your iPod sort of thing. Not anti-satellite.
Yeah, no, I don't see that, sir. I see any of these pro radio things are anti-satellite.
I didn't say it was good. I just said that was the aim.
Don't listen to your record player when you can listen to the radio.
Right.
Well, why would you waste time doing that?
Yeah.
All right, well, let's listen to another one. It's the Rolling Stones here. Come on.
Before we played stadiums.
Before a little TNA.
Before we had drug busts.
Before all a guitar needed was 5 strings, 2 fingers, and 1 asshole to play it.
It's a lovely thing.
You heard us.
The Rolling Stones.
On the radio.
Radio. You hear it here first.
I guess
I don't really know what they're for.
Yeah, what are they for?
I think
it could be for illegal downloading. I don't know.
They're advertising radio?
Yeah, they're advertising radio on the radio.
All right, so they're advertising
radio.
They want your business. They want you to listen to the...
spot. It's a commercial break.
So it's pretty much anti-satellite radio, anti-iPods, anti-MP3,
anti-anything.
Illegal downloading. It's probably...
Computer.
They're losing so much business to everything. I think that's what they're trying.
Oh, no, they're not. Ask any one of them. Nothing has taken away listenership. All these forms of entertainment that have come about, where you can download they have songs on your toaster now, and that's not taken away from anything.
But, Anthony, they have such a great formula. There's nothing I love more than listening to the 20 minutes, 30 minutes of commercials, and then hearing a song that I just heard 40 minutes ago.
Me
and if
too.
it could be something of the pop genre.
Me too, and that's why I stick with it.
I could hear Eric Clapton's Layla one more time.
You know something? You never get tired of it.
It just keeps getting better.
Oh,
well, I'm sure Eric...
Oh, again!
Clapton shuts it off.
No, he does.
That's very funny.
He probably said, for the love of God.
Enough already. This fucking song again. So boring.
This is a great, good
bloody boy. I hated it when I fucking did it.
Good phone call from Kevin. Kevin in Ohio, what's up?
Hey, what you guys are going through with this, every industry goes through this exact same thing. I mean, every industry, when somebody new comes in, they ignore them. Or like you said, sometimes they'll even help them. And then when they become big, then they start bashing them, and they start thinking, holy shit, now we're in trouble. Now what do we do? There's so many examples of it.
This is textbook, huh?
Oh, it's so classic. I mean, what I do is I work in construction, and 50 years ago, there was no such thing as asphalt.
I bet you when that first Starbucks shop went up, little local coffee guy's like, come on.
Nothing but coffee.
Coffee stuff. I got my regulars. They're not going to pay attention to that.
Who's going to pay $4 for a cup of Joe?
Right. Yeah, that old chip it away thing. Screw them.
Dude.
All right.
Dude, that guy's in construction. New technologies in that. We used to have to nail up every board, every drywall board with a hammer and a nail. And now you just beep, 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 beep. Who's the guy that's going, that'll never take. I'm going to die swinging this hammer. It's every industry has new technology. And unless you pay attention, you're done.
I remember when I came home one time, I had bought new luggage that actually had wheels on it. And at that point, it was very few of me, and most of them were stewardesses.
Yeah.
So both my roommates were trashing me. A real man carries his fucking bag. And I'm like, really?
Just talking about that in the airport, sitting there, thinking, years ago, people fucking held these things and carried these huge things of
running
luggage.
From terminal, trying to catch your
and it was everybody.
Flight.
I go, look around. Everyone is rolling their friggin' carry-on, and they roll their bags when they check them in. I go, but just years ago, man, people carried these big, hard-shelled fucking suitcase handles, heavy fucking thing. And now everyone's rolling.
You see people that used to set them down, you had to take a break?
Yeah.
That's why I was cracking up. I'm like, look, you fag. And it says, yeah.
Faggot. You guys.
Yeah, the
making
wheel.
it easier.
That funny wheel, boy, that's never been convenient over history. Anything's better with a wheel on it.
The wheel is
anything.
The wheel is just a fad.
I don't care what you
guys
pick.
just described what I did going to Vegas.
What?
I don't have the wheels yet.
Are you insane?
I had like 2 duffel bags.
Dude, you're a crazy person.
No, I am.
You're a crazy person. You're in a business where we travel everywhere.
Right.
And you don't have the latest, nicest wheeled luggage.
I was when it took me 16 hours to get to Vegas and 13 hours door to door to get home, I was carrying my bags.
That's insanity. Now you're crazy. We play a goddamn thing where he's got the insight to see satellite radio as something that's going to be huge when everyone was like, what the fuck is that? And he's still pulling around friggin' wheelless luggage.
I'll admit I'm a brilliant broadcaster. I'm not brilliant in my everyday life.
Dude, get wheels.
I need to get wheels.
I just
the only people is like you and like old people. Every once in a while I see old people, they still have like with the floral pattern like luggage.
Floral print. Nothing beats that big hard shell green like Samsonite.
To match their pantsuit.
Whoa.
Yeah,
you hear it come down off of the baggage thing and it makes that thud sound.
Well, the listeners just trying to get back on track here, so we have the listeners sending in anti-free radio ads. And the first one right off the bat is 2 minutes and 30 seconds long. What is going on?
What did we say when we said we wanted you to send these in? What did we say? I'm waiting for an answer. We said keep it short.
Keep it short and to the point.
The worst thing you could do with these things, worse than a short bad one, is a long good one.
Yeah, we don't want to work too hard. So I got it.
I think was that right?
If this bit takes off, we don't have to work as hard, and already you guys are wrecking the bit.
You're ruining the bit.
You're traveling through another dimension. A dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind. A journey into a wondrous land of imagination. Next stop, the ONA This is Mr. Radio himself. Once brilliant, but will soon have to be eliminated.
Field investigation finding obsolescence. You know why you're here?
Yeah, I'd say so, yeah.
You've been under investigation for the mandatory period of 1 year and 11 months. You're found to be obsolete.
Listen to you. You are so jealous. My show was revolutionary, groundbreaking. When I came on the scene, people were not doing a thing.
You are obsolete.
Hold it. Don't stop me.
You have no function.
I did a bit at NBC going back to 1980-something called the Bathroom Olympics. They'd say, hey, let's see who can go to the bathroom. We'll time it. And we'll see who can go faster. My audience used to eat that stuff up.
You're an anachronism, like a ghost from another time.
You better calm down.
You're a bug.
Yeah.
Ugly, misformed little creature who has no purpose here, no meaning.
Papa.
Yeah.
Make it brief.
Spiritual, sexual.
Sit back in your chair.
Papa, don't preach.
Go ahead, baby. It's all yours.
In my tits inside God. My tits are God. Leave. My tits are God.
The state has proven that there is no God.
I keep in my bed.
That will be all.
Well, I mean, I had a dream when I was, like Martin Luther King, when I was 5 years old.
You have nothing but spindly limbs and a dream, and the state has no use for your kind.
I'm learning to be better.
You waste our time, then you're not worth the waste. How do you find, ladies and gentlemen?
Obsolete.
Obsolete.
You are obsolete. You are obsolete.
This is what is meant by paying the fiddler. This is the comeuppance awaiting every man when the ledger of his life is opened and examined. The tally made and then the reward or the penalty paid. This is Judgment Night in the ONA Zone.
All right. I remember that episode.
But it's not the anti-free radio ads. Why was that bunched in with this? That's more of a...
Yeah.
That's like anti-Howard, a Howard Stern daughter remix.
Right, yeah.
Like it's
covering all the bases there.
3 or 4 different bits. I think there was a Pat O'Brien sex tape in it. I don't know. All right.
It wasn't badly done.
No, it was pretty good.
A little long.
Yeah. Let's say hi to Keith the cop. Hey, Keith, what's up?
Hey, good morning. What's going on?
Good morning.
how would you actually put wheels on a gym bag?
Yeah, Opie's decided he's just going to be like, you're not going on a trip. He's not going on a trip. He's just kind of dropping in somewhere for the night.
You know, after he finally got there, and I met him at the airport, and I said, all right, let me get your bags for you. Well, what do they look like? So he says, well, they're kind of like duffel bag looking. And you see the bag come off the chute, and like the zipper's open, a pair of pants are hanging out of the zip. It's like,
what?
I just look at him and I go, oh, very snazzy.
Fancy luggage.
Fancy luggage for a fancy.
What's kept you from just getting one luggage bag?
What's kept me from buying a house? I don't know what's wrong with me.
Wow.
I'm a
Do you
mess.
just not like to shop?
I've upgraded my stuff, but
yeah, look at that sweater.
Dude, this is my sick clothes.
You can do that online. You could get luggage.
I'll
bring it right to your house.
Because then the night before, I have to think about every single thing I'm packing because I know my luggage is going to be too heavy to walk through the airports.
Yeah, you're definitely not bringing any sort of electronics. There's no laptop in your bag.
No,
it's just
like my brain is not wired when it comes to like this normal shit that people have figured out.
When it comes down the baggage thing, you just hear. Because your deodorant is just spraying into your clothes.
Oh, I have more shampoo bottles that break.
Just broken, goopy clothes.
I can't even tell you. All right. Well, thanks for calling me out on that, Keith.
No, man, you gotta bring the toiletries on the plane.
By the way, why don't you tell Anthony how happy I was when I found out in Vegas that I was flying to the wrong airport?
I got about 14 phone calls from different people to let me know that you were not very happy. And, it was a rough morning. Somebody threw up a lot, and...
not me. I didn't throw up.
It was rough.
No.
But, yeah, listen, we had a good time when we were there.
Right.
And besides the beating that you and I took at the table that first day.
Well, compared to Anthony, it was nothing.
Little 3-card.
Little 3-card, lost about 200 in like 15 minutes, though.
Yeah.
Not even. It was like 10 minutes.
Yeah, I saw Opie open his wallet more in 15 minutes than I have in 6 years, but,
I wish I could do my crazy laugh, but it hurts too much to. Thank you, Anthony.
I'll stand in.
All right, Keith.
All right, gentlemen. Good morning. Have a good one.
All right.
I don't get that true hatred in it, though, like Opie does.
He also has to back 10 feet off of the mic.
Yeah, he's got to back up to the wall and just it belts out, and you don't just hear it, you feel it. There's an emotion that it evokes, just hatred.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, let's try some of the anti-free ads that came in by the listeners. Okay,
right.
To wrap up this segment, this is Rug Burn.
Here at Free FM, we believe there should be quality over quantity. We strive to bring you the best shows in radio broadcasting. For example, The Don and Mike Show, The Schnitz Show, Mad Dog, The Grease Man. Nah, fuck it. This message brought to you by Satellite Radio.
Yeah.
Bill, comment?
The voiceover never has any sort of confidence in it, and it's always so quiet, like XM Satellite Radio.
There's
Mad Dog, and you just picture
it. Shakes a little bit.
All right, here we go. We'll try the next one, which is I'm telling you right off the bat, because we discovered we got a lot of fine black listeners.
Of course,
we like them. Patrice discovered that they have this whole underground thing. They don't want to acknowledge they're fans of this program, unfortunately, because of the racism that occurs on this program.
I meet plenty of people of color that are fans of this program.
Well, this is Johnny Griswold.
All right.
The house next door to me's been sold to Nick.
Hear the rest of that song and many others like them only on XN Satellite Radio.
Holy shit.
All right, I have to laugh. That's pretty fucking
wow.
Jesus.
You're the rest. Wow, with pride.
With pride. Make sure you crank it up for the neighborhood.
Jesus.
All right, the next one is from Chris from Houston. Doesn't get the bit. He doesn't get the bit guy.
He doesn't get the bit guy?
There's supposed to be anti-free radio ads.
There's always doesn't get the bit guy when we put the word out to the listeners that we want them to contribute to a bit, and this guy obviously doesn't get it.
He's doing radio should be free.
Radio should be free, just like AIDS.
All right.
I like that one just because it's so bizarre.
Yeah, it is bizarre. He's kind of in the ballpark with it, though. Like he's saying that free radio is free, but, you know,
right.
So is AIDS.
Right.
And it deserves to be free.
Right.
And the kazoo music bed was great, too.
Yeah, it was good.
Let's go to Snapman.
Free FM. Hey, at least it's better than that Kabbalah play.
Papa, don't preach.
Oh, man.
Now, why don't you just leave her alone?
It's just beginning. You can
Yeah.
feel it. It's just bubbling right now. It's just
Simmer.
bubbling.
Ah, that poor girl.
It's just bubbling right now.
She's a good kid.
The audio's up on
Howard, she's 22
OpieAnthony.com.
years old. She's your kid, but she ain't a kid.
The remixes will start coming in tomorrow. I guarantee that.
You know, with them tits. Those are woman's tits.
How do you say that?
Wow. You see those things?
No, actually.
Great. Big. Just a little sloppy. She got some slop to her. She eats good.
We have Vamp Cry. Is that this name?
You're asking Hawk?
Vamp Cry?
Why pay for radio when you can get great programming for free?
Yeah, really. Like Diamond Dave in the morning.
Bozy, bozy, bop. City bop. Hit her in the uterus.
Ew. On second thought, I'd rather have Jimmy's fist in my twat.
Free FM. You get what you pay for. Paid for by the ONA Army.
Oh, that's very good. Actually, that's Jeremy
funny.
and Rachel. Sorry about that.
That's very funny.
Wrong track queued up. Jeremy and Rachel did that one. Here's Vamp Cry. Anti-free radio ads.
Free radio if you want your daughter bedding down with Negroes. Free FM.
Holy shit. That's a celebrity endorsement with Jimmy Norton.
That's right. Here's another one using a Jimmy line.
Free, the way the Jews want you to be. Free FM, it just sucks.
All right, a little anti-Semitism never hurt anyone? Okay, maybe it did.
All right, here's Chris in Houston. Anti-free radio ads.
So I open the door and she's sitting there eating his and sucking on his and eating his
XM Radio, uncensored, you nigger cunt faggot.
Holy shit.
I think that one was actually an advertisement for free radio.
Right. Sometimes you can use the bleep.
Wow.
Sometimes the bleep is good.
The guy had a great concept and then just threw it over the mountain.
Yeah.
Just said, fuck it.
I'm going for broke here.
I'm going for broke.
I'm all in.
That was a 3-for-1.
You have to believe in your creativity there, sir. You're on the right track. Here's Inbred.
Bozy, bozy, bop. Life goes on without me.
Radio. Some things you have to pay for.
All right, he just shot Diamond Dave.
Yeah. And then finally, the last one that came in today, anti-free radio ads. So confusing. This is the description of the track. So confusing. Just had to add to the list to see if anyone gets it.
Mm-hmm.
By Wittendrun or something like that. Wit and Run. Oh, Wit and Run.
Right.
Okay.
Little Declan is 13 years old.
Have you seen my son?
The child gets thirsty.
I can't find my son.
Then he runs.
Mama, I don't wanna. Mama, not again.
What the fuck? You can shit off Free FM. I'll pay for my nipple juice.
Do you routinely use off-color language as part of your business lexicon?
Idiot. All right, well.
Wow.
That could have been...
Those first XM ads were as confusing as that, then that guy actually would have had a fucking point, because I had no idea
Ken
what
would
that
have been
was
right.
about. Yes.
Yeah.
I wonder if the first XM ads sounded like that to people. Maybe Ken was right.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I want you to picture yourself.
Picture, if you will, driving in your car.
That was kind of good, though, right?
Yeah, they're getting there. The first batch is always a little
I
rough.
would have to say bit still on.
Bit's still on. Guys,
it's
keep them
shaky,
short.
Though. It's shaky. The wheels are shaking. They're wobbling. We got some wobbly wheels on this bit, but I think we're going to continue with it for a little while.
Let's pull into the pits. We'll tighten some stuff up and put them back out
It's
on
like
the track.
driving an old Chevette over 60 miles an hour.
Yeah. It's shaking. It's pulling a little.
But then when you got it up to 80, it kind of leveled out.
Smooths out.
Yeah.
Some of these bits, they're dead in a day, and others, like the Pat O'Brien sex tape thing, went on for well over a month.
Here it is, guys. Keep them short.
Keep them short.
Make it, the free FM. Think of what sucks about free radio. The commercials. The lack of freedom because of the FCC. Not redundancy. What's the word I'm looking for?
You know what this sounds like?
It is something that goes over and over and over again.
Repetitive.
Repetitiveness. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
This sounds like when everyone in the class flunked the test. So the teacher just says, "Okay, we got to do this again.
We're going to take the test over.
I can't give
Mark
you
it
all
on a
Fs."
curve."
All right, why don't we take a break? We have some audio from the porn convention from our time in Vegas. We have John Montone talking about diabetes. We love this reporter.
John Montone, 1010 Wins News.
And I can't get enough of celeb reality shows on VH1. Celebrity Fit Club is one of my favorite shows on TV.
Yeah.
And Jeff Conaway, who used to be on Taxi, and he was, what's his name in Greece?
He was Kanicki in Greece.
Well, he's now a babbling idiot on some kind of narcotic.
Oh, really?
He's not willing to admit it yet, but it looks like he's going to finally admit it in future episodes.
That was the
of
guy
Celebrity
from
Fit Club.
Taxi?
Yeah. We'll get into the audio next.
Wow, you saw him and didn't
I didn't recognize it. And Kelly LeBrock.
Kelly LeBrock, yeah. 175 pounds she's up to.
Stop it.
She's one of the contestants on Celebrity Fit Club.
You mean the chick from
Weird Science?
Weird Science?
She's up to
Is fat?
and 75 pounds.
What the fuck happened?
She blames it on Seagal.
Really?
Got the divorce and said, fuck it, I don't want to be beautiful anymore, and I'm going to do what I want, which is eat. Loves meat.
When she's standing in the doorway with that half shirt and the underwear on.
Unbelievable.
And the little red light is behind her, and she's leaning against. There it is.
Yeah.
That's the picture.
Well, now show Anthony what she looks like today.
Oh, no, I haven't seen it. No, don't ruin it for me, Hawk.
This is what kills you, is she still has that same sexy voice, and now it's coming out of this.
I'm going to have to take a stand here. It's a little controversial, I understand. She's 175 pounds. She's still hot. She's still hot.
Once you get over the initial shock of,
I'm not even kidding. I mean,
she still has a nice
you
ass.
remember her from
nice
Weird
ass.
Science and all that. And it's very controversial. I understand that. Still sexy at 175 pounds.
Really?
I would
Yeah,
say
but you got to admit, when you first saw her, that was kind of like...
Yeah, you're
whoa.
like, wow, that's the same girl. Definitely. I said still sexy. Now, well, now.
No, when she shook her ass for the camera, yeah.
Give
there
me
was
a
little bit of...
goddamn
now that I
picture.
get killed, but...
Oh, no.
Still sexy, especially in the face.
Oh, she's fat. God
Let me see,
you bitches.
Sexy or not sexy, Bill? Be honest.
No.
If it wasn't, it's because of what she used to be, I would say. I would say no.
Well, the difference obviously makes it tough.
If I was in high school and that was my friend's mom, I'd probably rub one out.
There you go. I'll put it in perspective. As Kelly LeBrock from Weird Science, she was such a 10 that
it's tough to see her any other way.
You shoot a load just looking at her.
I understand that.
There, she is one in every billion of fat soccer mom type women that are
trying to remarry
around everywhere. Right. Trying to find a man at Parents Without Partners.
Yeah.
There she is. Look at, from here, I see chubby indented knuckles.
Oh.
God damn her.
She's already lost 7-8 pounds, though. She's doing good already. So maybe she'll get back down.
Nah, when you get blown out that bad, it just never comes back to shape.
Yep.
Well, let's see what Brian has to add to this. Brian.
Hey, guys. She is so seriously doable still that little Jimmy would eat the peanuts out of her poo
here we
just
go.
to see where it came from.
Thank you for
All
that
right.
classy
Thank you,
response.
Brian.
Great. We hear from Brian the trucker saying, I'd still fuck her.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brian the trucker.
Well, she's not a mess. She's not...
Yeah, but she's also not a truck stop whore.
She's not messy fat.
Right, but that
I don't
guy-
know. Is there another picture of her?
Some girls could pull off the fat, I'm telling you.
Show me a secondary angle.
She's, trying to find a picture of her.
She's such an average, overweight woman now. When you go see the...
Ooh, that's an ugly picture of her.
That isn't her.
Are you sure that's her?
That is not her.
That looks
Hawk,
really bad.
that is not her.
That doesn't help my cause. Wow.
Dude, that is not her.
That doesn't help my cause.
I am not accepting the fact that
Anthony,
is her.
Anthony, it's her.
No.
All right, I got to take
No,
a
it's not.
Anthony.
You guys discuss.
It's her.
What happened?
Hey, can you give me
a
cereal bowl, milk, and a spoon?
That's
what
her.
happened?
I don't know. That one's a
That
weird
isn't.
one.
It doesn't even look like her in the face. It doesn't even look like they pumped her face up.
Yeah, it looks like one of her cheeks weighs like 4 pounds more than the other. Facial cheeks.
All right.
God damn it. Yeah, I got to take a piss.
Celebrity Fit Club. We'll do the Jeff Conaway audio next. It's great stuff.
Anthony, that's her.
That's frightening.
Get infected.
You trying to get rid of me?
Yes.
What are you doing, Ben? Ben, what are you doing? Sign language.
What's the sign language?
Ed, that's Ben, and
he's our producer.
And he decides when a guest is getting a little too boring, and that was the sign that
okay.
he usually gives. And
more disrespect to Ed.
We're having a good interview with Ed Asner.
I can tell you, Anthony, that's the last time I'll ever be on your show.
No, that was Ben.
I've suffered your insults enough. And I certainly wouldn't come back again. I'll be glad to talk to you about the Columbia documentary some other time when he's not around.
Can I talk to you, Ed? I'm a big fan. I love you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Be sure that he's not in.
I don't. He does this all the time. I'm a big fan. We're very happy to have you on the show.
He's a destroyer.
He's a destroyer.
Destroyer.
He's like Gordon Gekko. He built nothing. He liquidates. He's filthy.
He's greasy.
Yes, he is.
I don't want to smell his shorts.
He's a Sven
In quotes, I don't want to smell his shorts. Ed Asner.
Bravo.
The great Ed Asner. Thank you, sir. Very nice to meet you. Thank you very much.
Where's Norton going and where's Voss going? Oh, you're getting photos and stuff? All right. Everyone is getting pictures with Ed Asner.
Dude, you went after Ed Asner.
I didn't go after him.
Oh, my God. You hurt him.
We were just having fun.
I think he was really upset.
I guess he didn't really get our,
I don't think
our sense of humor.
No, the goof.
It's hard for people to get the
Actually,
goof.
he's
a legend, and I loved Mary Tyler Moore growing up.
A lot of the old guys don't get the goof.
They don't want to. They're like, come on. But I can't be something I'm not.
You're a destroyer. He called you a destroyer.
Wait till Anthony hears this on the replay.
Oh, it was phenomenal.
Hey, Jimmy, get back here, man. I started sweating. Ed, no, come on, give me a handshake, please.
Fuck you, Ed. No, fuck you. Dude, Ed Asner just said fuck you. Oh, that's phenomenal.
I'm eating.
Commercial cereal. You sold out.
Stop staring at me. I'm eating.
You sold out, man.
Yeah.
I think if you listen to that bed of music 12 times in a row, you'd legally be insane.
Yeah, this is kind of... who put this together? Who is this?
New contest, by the way. I just took the longest pee, I think, in the history of man.
Oh, yeah. You were in there a good 20 seconds before I was.
The
30
Leslie
seconds.
Nielsen pee.
Yeah.
New contest.
Naked gun pee.
Someone's got to set the bar, but when you have to take a really long leak, we record it. And then let's just see if we could match that from time to time.
Call it the Bathroom Olympics.
Yeah, Bathroom Olympics. What I was thinking that would
eat that up.
Honestly, was it at least 2 minutes?
Yeah, it was a very long time.
At least 2 minutes straight.
He's
No
pissing
problem.
30 seconds before I even get in there. And I get in there. I finish up. He's still pissing. It's still coming out.
Well, I'm drinking so many fluids just to try to hopefully kick whatever I have.
Fluids goodly.
Bill Burr in studio. He's playing the Punchline in San Francisco starting tomorrow night, which is crazy. Tuesday through Sunday?
Tuesday through Saturday.
Saturday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday in San Francisco.
Shoot a DVD for $37,000.
Yeah.
And plus the cost of the tape and the cameras
and
the boom mics.
Actually have to pay yourself for being there. By the way, very important news. I didn't even know this. Stamp is now 39 cents.
Oh, I know.
Did you know this? When did you find out?
Just because there's a line in the paper today or something.
It was yesterday, on a Sunday, that the 37-cent stamp, I guess it was, ran out. You can't use them. You got to get 2 more cents. So I had all the letters ready to go out. I am a man of the news, and I didn't hear about this.
Why wouldn't you just throw another 37 cents on and say, "Oh well, I'll catch up another day"? I'll tell you why, because
it's the principle of it.
In the paper, they're showing lines around the block, people online just to get 2-cent stamps because they got the 37-cent stamps at home. And I'm thinking, it's pretty fucking cheap to mail a letter, so you get screwed one time, fuck it.
For one letter,
And then when the line dies down in the next couple of days, then you get your dumb 2-cent stamps. Why do you have to get 2-cent stamps starting yesterday?
You're right, but that's for one letter. I usually buy a roll of like 200 stamps.
Right. Well, yeah, but then you'll get your 2 cents. All I'm saying is you'll get your 2-cent stamps eventually. I don't understand these people that had to wait online yesterday for a really long time just to get 2-cent stamps.
Just to get the 2 cents.
Like they're going to go see U2 or something.
Yeah, right. You're getting a lousy 2-cent stamp. And if you have a letter you have to mail and it's pretty important, then you know what? Take the loss.
That's what I was thinking.
Just throw another 37 cents on there and go, all right, you got me. There you go. You made a little extra money today.
Why can't I just cut the stamp up into equal portions and then stick a little piece on that would have been worth 2 cents? I paid 37 cents for the stamp. Why not divvy it up and go, here's 2 cents? They would not accept that.
I was ready to openly laugh at you, but that is a brilliant
Why
idea.
not? I'll even give them half a stamp. Look, you're still making money.
Make it easy.
But they wouldn't take
a quarter.
A quarter of a stamp.
Because it'll look like just a tiny little stamp.
Then I could use like 4. Yeah, if I got 4 letters to send out, I could use that and not have to waste so many stamps.
But why? Why yesterday you decided to wait online for the 2-cent stamps?
Yeah.
And don't say it's a rich thing, because it's still beyond cheap.
Mm-hmm. It is to mail a letter. You know what, though? I found out you can do, and I'm doing this now. Online.
Mail-in?
Yeah, you get all your software sent to you. You just stick your envelope in your printer. Done ski. Print it on there. Comes out of your account. Never have to go to the post office anymore. Just one more place I don't have to leave my house to go to.
That is getting scary.
The post office.
It's getting scary.
I am getting so to the point where I don't have to leave. Although I will have to move soon. But that'll be central command.
Yeah, well, then you're going to get a movie theater in there or something. Then you won't even go to the movies anymore.
I'm looking, Keith the Cop has a home theater. I don't know how many drug dealers he's shaking down to afford this, but he's got a home theater. And he is it's going to hook me up.
Nothing against Keith the Cop. Say hi to your old pal Joey from Paisanos and Mulberry
That's
Street.
another thing I've heard.
In the heart of Little Italy.
That's another thing I've heard.
He buys those audio magazines, those ones that make your head explode because you're like, what are they fucking even talking about?
Right. I want a movie theater in my house.
Call Joey, I'm telling you.
So then I can and then I'll go through XM and make sure I get all the preview copies of the movies because I watch them and then talk about them on the air. So I'll get the first run movie sent to me. Don't have to go to the movie theater anymore.
And all the money he's going to save on gas, he's going to use to build a big wall around it.
Build it?
No, he's
It's done, my friend. I'm putting turrets in. There's going to be anti-aircraft on the roof.
And a moat.
He's going to hire, out-of-work guards from the Berlin Wall.
Those guys could use some extra money.
Unbelievable.
Poor bastards. My goal is to type out some things on a keyboard and have it sent to me. Why leave? What's out there? What is really out there to see? We've traveled. We've gone and an occasional cruise or a trip down to the Bahamas, I'll take that because it's wonderful, beautiful, and warm. But why go to the supermarket? Why go to the movies? Why?
You're not going to go to the Bahamas. After a while, you're just going to rent, like, Blue Crush or whatever the fuck that movie was called.
Throw a little sand down on the floor.
Yeah, and you just sit in there.
No, I will go on vacation.
Awful Robin Williams shirt that he'd wear on stage.
I will go out on vacations. I will go to Disney. I will go to the Bahamas.
What?
I'll do.
I'm saying you won't. And
I will.
The same way you could predict the future of satellite radio.
No,
I'm going to say you're not going. You're going to start phoning in this show,
Bill. I can say why I would go to those places because it's fun. You're vacationing. Why go to the movies? They are annoying shitholes full of annoying people. Okay. Would you invite those people over your house to watch a DVD of the same movie? No. They're annoying.
Totally. But you're telling me those resorts aren't annoying?
Yeah, but there's alcohol, and you can walk away from the people. You could walk to another area of the beach and go into the water. It's not like you can walk out of the theater and still see it. You have to be contained in that room, with those people. The supermarket, same thing. You're wheeling that cart around. If I get behind someone that isn't moving, or that woman that stops her like she's setting up a roadblock on purpose, that cart is turned sideways in the aisle. She's looking, standing in the middle of the aisle, looking at what she's looking at, and she sees me coming. Get the fuck out of the way!
All this audio is going to be used at his trial someday when he goes up in the tower and just starts shooting at people.
Don't you get lonely not leaving your house?
What lonely for who? Lonely for who?
Sliding into
human
this
contact.
Lonely for human contact.
Human contact, fresh air, new surroundings, something.
Fresh air? I got a yard.
If I'm in my apartment too long, I go nuts.
Fresh air?
I have to get out there and walk around.
You mix in with the people, you get some comment out of
I mix in with the people. When I walk from here to the garage, I'm seeing enough of the people. And it's enough to remind me I don't want any part of them.
You even took the walk out of your everyday routine.
Just one way.
He doesn't even walk now.
I walk back.
You walk up the stairs. Or the not
I
even
choose
stairs.
walk back. I walk in the summer, and I walk back to my car in the afternoon.
That's got to be at least 3/4 of a block.
That's all the people I want to see. That is all the people I want. It's enough to remind me I am disgusted with humanity.
You don't even have enough time to go, hello, neighbor.
Neighbor? No, it'll start with an N, but it ain't neighbor.
Jesus.
Racism. What is wrong?
It's New Yorker, my friend, with the filthy racist mind.
There is such an accidental shooting in his future.
No.
Accidental stabbing?
Yeah.
Should have seen me going on.
What do you call it when you run somebody through with a sword? Is there a name for that in the corpse?
It's just called running them through. Impaling.
An accidental impaling in your future.
You should see me going on vacation. Well, going to Vegas. The ritual around the house, the packing, what everybody else does. But I have to go around to all my various weapons and unload them while I'm not in the house. Because I wouldn't want anybody breaking in and having loaded weapons there. Or if a relative is coming by and staying, I don't want loaded guns like that. So as packing is going on, you're just hearing from different rooms, shells flying all over the house.
Telling you, he's the next Jason Williams.
It's hysterical.
The fuck are you looking at? He's going to blow away his limo driver.
Let me tell you something, my friend. I am one of the safest people with a firearm. I was raised around them, and I am Mr. Safety. You might think I'm kooky. I am safe. Absolutely.
All right. Well, we got the Celebrity Fit Club audio of Jeff Conaway. He is the star of this Celebrity Fit Club. That also features Kelly LeBrock.
Kelly LeFat.
The chick from The Cosby Show.
God damn it.
Give me the lineup of Celebrity Fit Club, please. Oh, Chastity Bono. That's right.
Chastity Bono, who is always fat.
Cher's kid. Very big.
Fat dyke.
Very big.
That's what they say.
Also,
I thought she was hot there for a minute.
Young MC.
And they used to bring her on stage when she was 8, maybe.
No, it was
the Sonny and Cher Variety Hour when she'd wave bye-bye.
Maybe it was because she was standing next to Cher, who was hot, and you just knew eventually she was going to be hot. Okay, you caught me in a moment. I looked at an 8-year-old.
She was a very, very...
She was an adorable little kid.
A very cute kid, yes. And then she had some problems, and I don't know. She just ate a lot. But then you got the middle daughter from The Cosby Show. You have, I'm trying to remember everybody.
Tempest Bledsoe. That's her name.
Tempest
Bledsoe.
Bledsoe. Young MC,
Very good.
who's now over 300 pounds. He's trying to lose.
Get out of here. Young MC is over 300 pounds?
You know when he was looking...
Wasn't he skinny?
Yeah, well, when he was looking like that, with the abs and everything, he said that he was starving himself. That wasn't his body type, but the record industry made him...
Wasn't his body type.
Wasn't his body type. What's his name from...
The record industry? What, the 1 year he was on top?
Yeah. This thing sounds like he's got a 20-year career.
1989, that was it.
Well, that's what he's saying. He was fat before that. He was successful for a couple of years, and he was thin, and then he went right back to being over 300 pounds. Yeah. And then the dude from D12, Eminem's side project band there. Bizarre, right? He's there.
He has a huge stomach, and he has this big tattoo right on it.
Yeah. Well, because it's all about his belly. He's made a lot of money off his huge belly. Bruce Valanche, the comedy writer who's also done Hollywood Squares.
Oh, you got to see that guy. That guy is like so embarrassed with himself, he has to just keep doing jokes.
Yeah,
just about how he doesn't want to work out. It's
so you watched the show?
Yeah, it's really awkward. I saw it yesterday.
I love this show. What's her name from the Parkers? Countess Vaughn or whatever her name is. And then, of course, Jeff Conaway, who's just the star of this year's Celebrity Fit Club.
Where's the Jeff Conaway photo? You got that one?
That's the guy from Taxi.
That's the guy from Taxi.
Wow.
He's trying to say that he showed up at one of the fitness things they had to do.
Completely Gary Busey look to him.
Completely fucked up. And he's claiming he took 2 Benadryls. And they got a doctor that's part of the panel like, look, Benadryl doesn't do
Those
this.
Benadryls are like heroin as far as people are concerned when they want
he's slurring his speech.
Really?
Yeah, and he's supposed to be doing this thing where they're like rowing in one of those Hawaiian things, whatever they're called.
With the pontoon.
Kayak.
Oh, yeah, it's sort of
kayak.
Like kayak with that extra part. It's the Hawaiian thing.
Yeah.
And he's like passed out.
Just an outrigger.
Sleeping on his side as they're trying to do this thing. So here's the audio of Jeff Conaway from Celebrity Fit Club. Listen to this.
Why are you so angry, Jeff?
What do you want me to do?
How about just do what you're told?
I've done this for 45 years, longer than you've been a colonel.
Okay, well then you should be mature enough to get in here and sit your fat ass in a chair and let's get this show on the road.
When I was your age, I'd have you down like that, brother.
Hey, bring it on.
I went through more than you've done in your entire life. You ran into the military because you couldn't do anything else. I supported a family from the time I was 10 years old. I went through pedophile at 7 years old. At 3 years old, I slit my wrist. So keep your mouth shut.
Hey, that's pretty impressive.
No one's trying to undermine you.
That's really impressive. We still got a show to do. And you're not being a team player right now.
Nobody told me I was doing a drama.
Hey, all you gotta do is come here and sit down.
I did a show called Taxi. One of the biggest shows ever. I did a show called Grease. One of the biggest movies ever. They were funny.
How about losing weight, sit down, be quiet so we get the damn show going. That's what we need to do.
I got 2 movies coming up. That's what I'm doing. What are you doing?
Right now you're wasting our time. That's going right now. Now can we start this?
See, that was the tape rolling before they even started the show. But
he is angry.
Now they used it in the actual show itself. They were coming in to start the show, and he came in all angry. More Jeff Conaway.
All right, Red Team, you ready?
Ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready to rock and roll. So we're going to run this way?
You're going to run that way. We're going to run this way.
Where's the water? That's where the
you sure you want to go with his ass?
You look over at Kelly like she wasn't.
Sleepy practice, but if you
Well, it was the Benadryl. Benadryl's gone now. I'm fine.
Y'all had the confidence in him?
How you feel?
Well, he seems more awake.
I'm ready. Come on, let's go do this thing.
There you go.
He is wasted.
Gone.
You could hear it slurring.
Gone. I guess later on in the season, he's in a hospital like something really bad happened.
Oh, boy. What happened there?
Huh?
Did he say pedophile when he was 7?
Yeah. Went through a pedophile at 7.
But then he tried to slit his wrists at
3.
At 3?
Yeah.
Isn't that just an accident?
It has
Isn't that
to
a
be.
kid had an accident?
Running with a glass?
Yeah. Man, I tried slitting my wrist at 3. No, it's a kid having an accident. You ran with some scissors.
Your Fisher-Price knife set.
All right, here's, this is great. Listen to this. Jeff Conaway from Celebrity Fit Club.
Jeff, in my job, I see people that are going through what you do that are able to turn it around.
I think that we've been here for you, too.
I didn't feel that you were there for me yesterday. But I was there.
We could have not had you in the boat.
But I was there.
They didn't want you in the boat, and we put you in the boat.
Look, you weren't here for me. You wanted to throw me out of the boat.
No, she didn't.
I said everybody else wanted to throw you out of the boat.
The show did. Your team stuck
Well, then they should have. Why the didn't you?
You know, can I just say...
I think that's fair.
You know, I'm sick and tired of this. Go take your show and shove it up your ass.
Is this great TV?
Oh, yeah.
We said it. Danny Bonaducci started this latest trend where you got to get the celebrities on TV all fucked up.
This guy
Because this is the simplest TV show you could do. You go on, you do a few jumping jacks, you eat a salad, and they go, hey, congratulations, you lost 5 pounds this week. And he's making it into this big, huge drama.
But what would be really funny is like the agents pitching their client. Okay, he's only like 15 pounds overweight, but man, this guy is a fucking alcoholic.
Yeah.
Like I have never seen.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing.
Raging alcoholic.
Because he's not even that much overweight, really. He's like maybe, I don't know.
They don't care. They'd rather get some guy that's a little chunky and a psychopath.
I want to go on there. I'm 165 pounds and attempt to lose 40. And they just give me encouragement every week. I'm doing the best I can, thank you. This week you lost 7 pounds. Oh, great. I'll do better next week. Get a thin guy in there to turn.
There's a couple like that, not Tempest Bledsoe, the other black girl on there. She only weighs 130 pounds.
Yeah.
It's like...
130, she's like 4'10".
Oh, she's short?
Yeah, so, and,
oh, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but she's, look.
Oh, her?
You wouldn't call her fat.
No, I wouldn't. Shouldn't be in
and there's
Fit Club. Yeah, that's not bad.
And then there's Valanche in the background, Bruce Valanche, who's just atrocious.
Well, you know what's funny is he waited this long to finally have a drug addiction. I mean, his last hit was Taxi, right?
Oh, Jeff Conaway?
Oh, I'm sorry, wrong guy.
They've been talking about Jeff Conaway for years in Hollywood, that he's just impossible to work with, and he's just a complete asshole. And now he's showing the rest of the America
He's bringing up credits from like 50. I was on Ride. One of the biggest cowboy shows ever. I got 2 movies coming out.
Really?
Oh,
look up IMDb.
He's known as the only guy from Taxi that really didn't have a career after the show. Yeah, he hit with Grease, granted, but the rest of the guys were just massive after Taxi.
Mm-hmm. I was a producer on Big Valley. I broke Lee Majors.
So we'll be paying attention to Celebrity Fit Club. This Jeff Conaway is the reason to watch, without a doubt. All right.
Man.
Isn't that great?
Problematic.
There's more audio. Maybe we could get it. Let me ask Danny.
What's his? What are his new movies coming out? What are they called?
St. John Smith and Living the Dream.
And what does he play in one of those? Click on that movie and see what he does.
Doorman number 2.
Yeah, let's see what his part is.
All right. Let's see.
He's down.
He's Dick.
What credit is he? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th down. Right before
Rest of cast. Alphabetically.
He's rest of cast.
Here, go back. I want to see the last hit he had. Let's see. It wouldn't be wrestling. It wouldn't be The Corner Office. It wouldn't be Handulsh. It won't be Curse of the 49er. Not The Biz. Not Why Am I? Not Do You Want to Know a Secret? Dating Service. Jawbreaker.
Jim Cotter.
He was in Jawbreaker?
Yeah. 1999.
No, not different one.
Marcy's Father. And then he did some Babylon 5 stuff.
Oh, well, Babylon 5.
So there you go. 98 about. I think it goes on and on.
Hey, he's working.
All right.
Hey, that's a nice positive spin from Bill.
That was the best of it. I mean, there is some stuff where he's kind of, there's more slurring and more him just being, inaudible, but it's really it's nothing really for the radio.
Oh, it's fun to hear slurring, though.
Yeah.
It's not much, though.
I'll see what I can say. Yeah, it's the Benadryl.
Yeah, that's the best part when he's like, it's the Benadryl. I took a couple Benadryls.
They're always blaming it on the Benadryl. Benadryl should be flying off the shelves if it gets you this fucked up. Really should. Because anybody that has a problem, it's the Benadryl.
Right. Hey, Bill brought in something today. Osama Bin Laden's niece.
Oh, yeah, this is great.
We were talking about this during the commercial break.
In GQ magazine, the one that has Jack Black on the cover, they have Osama Bin Laden's niece in there doing like this sexy photo picture, and on the outside of the magazine they write, Jihad, Jihadi.
They did not write that.
Meet the sexy Bin Laden. And in the inside, what was so? Remember after 9/11 when they were talking about comedy, just in general, they would just right after 9/11 they were just like, "Will anything ever be funny again?"
Yeah.
How will we put the pieces together? And literally, a little over 4 years later, you can jerk off to Bin Laden's niece
with a joke on the cover, Jihadi.
There she is,
yes,
looking hot, playing a guitar.
Daily News just hitting their foreheads. Why didn't we?
Why didn't we think of Jihadi?
There's her in a bathtub with bubbles, looking hot.
Yeah. She's got the family resemblance.
And she's
got the
trying to
big,
get
wide, very long nose.
If you were going to fuck a Bin Laden, this would be the one.
She would have to be the one.
She would definitely be the one.
Now, where does she live?
New York City.
She's all westernized? She isn't like...
she's in New York, man.
Middle Eastern type fanatic?
She's in New York City.
Her first name is Wafa. W-A-F-H-A. Wafa, and she's going by Dufour. Can't believe she didn't keep the Bin Laden last name.
Oh, now she didn't?
Yeah, no, she didn't. And she's trying to get this music career going. And evidently she's having a tough time when she went by with the Bin Laden last name, which you can't believe when she would introduce herself as Wafa Bin Laden. And she says, it's really tough that I have to always explain myself. It's like every time I meet someone, I have to move this huge mountain that's in front of me, and sometimes I get tired.
Yeah.
It's really weird. It's almost like one of my relatives orchestrated 2 jumbo jets flying into the World Trade Center and caused the deaths of over 3,000 people. And it's like that's the first thing they think of. They don't think of my music career. I mean, I'm standing there with an acoustic guitar. It's like, hello, I have a song to play. Why wouldn't that be your first thought after I say I'm Wafa Bin Laden? Hi, I'm Susan Hitler, and I have a ukulele. Would you like me to sing Tiptoe Through the Tulips for you?
Didn't your great-grandfather orchestrate the deaths of 6 million Jews and over 10 million...
I am so tired of that being the first thing people think of when I say I'm Susan Hitler, and you see the harmonica and a ukulele.
I see the ukulele.
Multi-instruments.
I see the ukulele and stuff, but what's it like knowing you're related to the one of the most evil men?
Jerry, can you remove this person, please? Because, okay, it's like enough already. Okay? It was only 6 million. It wasn't 7 million. It wasn't 10 million Jews. It was 6, okay? Jesus Christ.
And it's about the music, really.
It's about the music, okay? It's sort of a hip-hop-ish blues.
That is a tough nut, man. That's one of those things that on a small level anyone can relate to because you have the asshole relative.
Everybody. I got a relative went to jail.
Went to jail, yeah?
Yeah, he's changed his name. He went to jail. My parents will not tell me what he went to jail for, so I'm assuming it's got to be sexual.
Yeah, sex crime. But everybody has somebody in their family they can relate to. That is an asshole, an embarrassment, someone you don't want to have the same name as, maybe, or. But then there are other levels of it too. There are like a Billy Carter. Jimmy Carter's there, the president of the United States, got that asshole brother around.
Billy Bear. Even like Roger Clinton was an embarrassment.
Was an embarrassment.
Singing
to
Mama
Clinton.
Kin on Letterman.
Right. Very embarrassing. Then those are just embarrassments. Then you have the other ones like, I'm sure Jeffrey Dahmer's got relatives.
Oh, absolutely.
He killed a few people. You know? Now that, to some people, might be fun at a bar. Hey, it's fucking Jeffrey Dahmer's cousin over there.
I think we'd have a drink with him. If you came walking in and you were just like, what's your name? Oh, my name's Michael Dahmer.
Yeah.
Dahmer doesn't, like, have the ring.
Right. It's not just evil. Hitler.
Bam.
No Hitler.
You got to mumble that.
You don't.
What's your name? Jason Hitler.
Yeah. Job application? Well, let's
how do you
take a
spell
look
that?
at your resume, Mr. Hitler. Could you see that guy? And all he's thinking is a payroll check, company name, and Hitler on it. You're
Every
not getting
time
a
he
fucking
goes
job.
somewhere and they do roll call, you're like at camp. Sullivan, Michaels, Hitler. And people just, what the fuck is it? There's a goddamn Hitler here?
And you never use your name with in the restaurant for the reservation.
Oh, ever.
Hitler, table for four, Hitler, table for four.
I've been to a lot of restaurants. Never, ever heard the maitre d' call for Hitler.
Or Bin Laden's.
Or Bin Laden, yeah.
You definitely won't hear smoking or non-smoking.
Oh, Jesus. Hitler, smoking.
Anyway, yeah.
No.
Well, this article...
that name has been retired. Done. As is the Bin Laden name.
One of the few names that have been officially retired.
Yeah. You don't find them.
I heard a lot of the Hitler relatives, they changed their name.
Really?
They changed their names after the war.
Goebbels.
All right, so I asked Valvo if he was hesitant to take her on as a client. Who's Valvo? Like some agent or something?
Yeah, it's some sort of like PR guy who clearly wants to bang her.
Right.
Like who's that? What the fuck? Celine Dion? You know, she married like that. That
Renee.
That
the older
80-year-old
gentleman.
guy.
But he was just interested in my musical career.
That's what this guy's going to do. He wants to bang a Bin Laden.
Well, he says, no, but I have gotten static for it. Yes, he says, recalling a woman who asked him, what the fuck are you working for these people for and taking their money? What is wrong with you?
You know what? In that sick, twisted way, you would want to just kind of flip her over, jam it right in her ass, pull her hair and go, your fucking uncle did this. Your fucking uncle fucking killed 3,000. And just have her have to take the pain for it, because it's the closest you're going to get.
Hey, we got a Stalin on the line. Joe in Virginia Beach. Joe.
What's going on?
Joe, his name is Joe, and your last name is Stalin?
Yeah.
You're Joseph Stalin.
Yeah, technically, yeah.
Come on, no way.
How does that work out for you?
Well, it doesn't go well with the employer. If you put that on an application, that throws up a red flag.
Joseph
Do they just think you're being like a wise ass writing that name down?
What's
like
that?
Michael Hunt, you're writing down Joseph Stalin?
Do you write Joe or Joseph?
Joe.
Yeah, definitely.
Doesn't go over too well.
Joey Stalin.
Joey Stalin, yeah, right.
Yeah, and that one, Stalin was really, really bad. Bad person.
I'm trying to think how...
He killed quite a few, quite a few million Russians.
The thing is, it was his own people, and it was very secretive. You know, it wasn't really as public at the time as
his whole
Hitler.
murder. His flopped. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it really did. He had a lot of insecurities internally and took care of them by killing everybody. Anyway, but it wasn't like an outwardly. It seemed like, hey, he's running the show, however he wants to deal with his people.
It's like that Ron Howard movie there, the boxing one. You would think you'd have Russell Crowe in, Oscars. Right, and just nobody saw it.
No one saw it. No one cared. That's how his atrocity went.
Yes.
Didn't beat Hitler's.
Well, all right. Thank you, Joe Stalin.
Thanks
Joseph Stalin.
Let's go to Andy in Wisconsin. Andy, what's up?
Hey, man, you talk about having a tough one. It's Andy Heitler, Hittler. Family actually had to add a T.
Oh, you guys went with the Heitler?
Heitler. I'm telling you.
If you're going to change it, why don't you change
it to
the fucking
something
thing?
completely different?
Dude,
Joseph Stallone.
There's no pride in that name where you want to keep a little of it. Heitler.
I changed my last name to Joseph's because I didn't want any fucking part of that.
Joseph's.
That's amazing.
Hitler's got to be a rough one to go around with. And
let's go to...
ain't going to work for you.
Let's go to Chris in New Jersey. Chris, what's up?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, man.
I know there's a Jewish girl that's a friend of mine. She goes out with a black guy whose name is Adolf.
What parents would name that kid Adolf?
It's the most uncomfortable thing because we're all used to saying nigger. That it's the most weird, uncomfortable, out of place thing.
All right, let's go to Tyler in Wyoming.
I thought the uncomfortable was Adolf, and that she was Jewish.
No,
the most uncomfortable thing is this guy wants to drop the N-bomb.
That just killed it.
Hey, by the way, what is a knitter?
A knitter?
Yeah. Somebody wrote that on my site. I assumed it was racist because
it absolutely
was an ONA fan. Yes. I mean, that's what you usually go with.
It absolutely is. Yeah, some people send messages with like ridiculous in your comments section, and I have to approve all comments before they go on. And they're like, dude, this is really funny. And it's like some picture of a guy back in the 1800s, early 1900s, lynched from a tree, a black guy. And like he wants me to hit accept and click it so it's proudly displayed on my...
Comment on my page.
Dude, man, check out my...
I sent an email to a kid the other day. I just said, could you please stop leaving unfunny, racist shit on my site? It isn't funny. It's not.
You just don't fucking... I thought that Bill Burr was cool. Guy's a fucking asshole.
Yeah, he's a fucking pussy.
Guy doesn't fucking get it.
He doesn't get it. Lynchings are hilarious. Oh.
Tyler in Wyoming. What's up, Tyler?
Yo, boys, what's going on?
Hey.
Hey, I worked with a guy over at Weatherford. It's a crude oil station. This motherfucker's name was really Jeffrey Dahmer.
No kidding.
No shit, man. He was a twisted fuck, too.
Yo, that's going to be hilarious if you have some sort of name, right? Your whole life it's cool, then all of a sudden somebody with the exact same name goes out and does something completely fucked up
for you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, totally.
There's a time being named Jeffrey Dahmer, was that?
There was just some guy down the street.
You're right.
A whole page of Hitler's.
And there is a Susan Hitler, by the way.
There is a Susan Hitler.
Get out of here.
Aven Hitler, A-V-E-N Hitler.
Karen Hitler, that sounds like a nice girl.
George Hitler, a couple of them, a Karen.
There's only 12.
Martha Hitler.
So the name is almost retired.
Almost.
There's only 12.
Practically, they're like protected by the government.
Missouri, Wisconsin, Arkansas, Indiana.
All over. A lot of Wisconsin.
All right, let's try to guess which city the person is actually a racist and is proud of the name. I'm going to go with Arkansas. Timbo, Arkansas?
Yeah, Timbo, Arkansas. That guy loves being Hitler. And his whole town, like, he is the man. He gets free drinks at the bar.
I'll go with another one that a lot of people know. Powell, Ohio.
Ohio
has a very strong Klan white supremacist.
George Hitler. My name's George Hitler, and goddammit, I'm proud. Turney.
What else is in this article? They looked through her iPod, Osama Bin Laden's niece, and she has 5,000 songs, and they scroll through AC/DC, Allman Brothers, Beach Boys, Butthole Surfers, Coldplay, The Cure, Lou Reed, and Mozart.
This is a funny one. They're talking about the stiletto heels that she wore for the photos, and she calls them her horseshoes, and then goes, that's so anti-Muslim.
Is she a Muslim?
Yeah, but you know something? I really got to, on one point, it's as you read this whole article, there's this whole vibe where she wants to trash Osama, but she's worried that she'll get her head chopped off.
It's like being someone born into the mafia that wants no part of it.
Yeah.
You try to go about your life, but you're sure as shit ain't going to badmouth anybody in it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's where she is. She wants to
and then you gradually get sucked into it and grab a gun behind a toilet and blow people's brains out. Yeah.
You gotta. Bada bing.
She doesn't understand, though. She's talking about this interview with GQ Magazine, and it's different than the other interviews she's done. And she's quoted saying, the guy's quoted saying, "It's so good to see you smile so much. You used to sit there so sad when we were with the reporter like you were about to be executed."
Yeah.
Well, what do you expect? That's what I love about what we do. You get a celebrity that comes in here, and you have the obvious question, and the publicist will try to get to you and go, could you not ask him about that?
Don't ask. We've been asked that so many times.
Like, then why is he even here?
When they bring people in, don't ask.
It's like interviewing her and making believe that has nothing to do with her.
Who came in with a starlet? Some band. Guy was a singer.
Yeah, we fucked up that day. That was
early in our
That was
career.
Third Eye Blind.
Third Eye Blind. Lead singer was going out with
Charlize Theron.
Charlize, yeah. And she was right there in our green room.
Famous.
And it was like
before she really hit.
They wanted to be about him and everything, so don't mention she's out there. Don't mention that they're going.
Kind of a bummer we never did.
Yeah, we lived, we learned. She wants to embrace the Western culture, I guess, and be, No,
she grew up out here. She grew up here. I think she spent some time in like Saudi Arabia and said it was horrific.
Wow, surprise.
Yeah.
Do we have any of her music?
I don't know. We got to get it.
Is it on Delete? Do we play it on the fucking terrorist relatives channel here at XM? Isn't there a terrorist relative channel?
Ready for this? She also hates milk. Wait, not a California roll, though. Okay. She hates milk and dishonesty. She won't say whether she hates George Bush. As for Dick Cheney, she never listens to what he has to say but thinks he's the Secretary of State. Brad Pitt is a sexy hunk, while George Clooney...
Are you going off article now and just your own spin on things?
Please. While George Clooney is a sexy hunk even more, and the best-looking guy alive, she daydreams, isn't germ-obsessed, teaches a little French on the side. Friends tell her she's a talking machine, owns a pair of open-toe shoes with very high red stiletto heels, calls them her horseshoes, like Bill said. She's a struggling artist. Honestly, do I look like a spoiled brat, she asks. I tell her no, she has a good attitude. I can't be otherwise, she says. I would be like crazy if I had to take everything personally all the time. I want to be accepted here, but I feel that everybody's judging me and rejecting me.
Yeah,
she laments.
Well,
persona non grata in both the East and the West. Come on, where's the American spirit? Accept me. I want to be embraced because my values are like yours, and I'm here. I'm not hiding. And then she talks about her mom. My mom is always telling me that if I say something too drastic, I might get killed by a fundamentalist, she says. My mom is freaking out every day that some crazy fundamentalist is going to say, how dare she say that?
And lop her head off.
Yeah.
Is her mom Osama's sister? Or is
I don't know.
Her mom married to Osama's brother?
But she met her mother, Carmen, met Osama one afternoon. And I guess Osama caught her.
Backyard cookout.
No, Osama caught her without her veil on, and he just made some disgusted noise and shooed her away. Soon afterwards, he went to Afghanistan to fight the Soviets.
Jesus. They asked her,
shoot her away.
They ask her what it's like for her when Osama releases another video. I don't even watch it, she says. She hasn't had many relationships. Wafa means loyalty in Arabic, but she can't imagine being faithful to someone for, say, 10 years. I think that even women can't be faithful. I read in a study, and I think it's true that after 3 years you're not in love anymore. It's more about friendship.
See, that's what made me like her. That's a real honest statement.
You like that one?
Yeah.
Maybe you could hook up.
I'd bang the shit out of him.
Yeah.
All right, I guess that's about it. That's pretty crazy.
Well, good luck to her.
Make her wear the veil.
Good luck to her. I'd like to hear her music. See if it's any of that like stuff or if it's real,
No, she's really into like Madonna.
Is that it? Do we have any of her performance?
Yeah, we'll find some. We don't have it today.
I thought we did.
It's got to have a demo on up there.
She's the daughter of Osama's half-brother. That's the relations there. So.
We have some of her stage show?
More crazy names, by the way. I don't know. We'll try to find it. I don't have it in front of me.
You don't? I could have sworn you had some of her stage show on there, but...
Oh, yes, I do, Anthony. I didn't see it here.
Jesus Christ. I'm pulling fucking teeth.
Dude, I told you, I'm under the weather today. Well, yes, Anthony. I happen to have a sample of her music.
Well, let's
hear it right now.
Upholding those Muslim. Go ahead.
It was under the Celebrity Fit Club CD.
Oh, see, that's why you didn't see it
at first.
Oh, there you go.
But now we're all on the same page.
Let's hear a little of.
Here's Osama Bin Laden's niece singing and performing on a stage.
Sexual, spiritual, sexual, both and in all, sexual, spiritual, all like hell, the name of God, my breasts, my white shining legs, my vagina, my ass are all godly, breast in Hebrew is shad, God in Hebrew is Shaddai.
Wait, he went like this.
Shaddai in Hebrew also means my breasts, God in my tits. My tits inside, God.
This is all the stuff they're going to chop off.
My tits are God. Pot.
Wow.
I'm so happy I'm in the Kabbalah Center. I learned so much. I now meditate on letters TIT, and everybody will immediately notice my tits. Letters TIT. Come hither.
All right. Well, that's great stuff.
Yeah, there it is.
From,
sort of scat.
Osama Bin Laden's
the rest of that audio is on OpieAnthony.com. Make your remixes and start sending them in, boys. Someone else that has an outrageous name of a coworker they work with. Yes, Paul in New York.
Yeah, hey, guys. I work with a guy named Gregory Hughes.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Does he call himself Opie?
Actually, we call him Opie now. He just didn't realize why.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you.
No problem.
All right. Why don't we take a break? News teases when we get back with Bill Burr.
Yes.
We like doing the news teases when you're here, Bill. We've been saving these for a while.
They're panicking us a little more?
Yeah, my favorite one is he's black.
Oh.
Wait to hear what the news said about that one.
Saw some good teases in Vegas when we were on there. The news in Vegas. You go to another city and think it's only in New York City or the city that you're in. It's all over. They was scaring everyone. And even their promo for the news, without mentioning a story, scared you. We're here to inform you, keep you protected, and help your children. Like there's danger out there, and the only place to go to get safe information is from these people.
Yeah. Well, why don't we get right into it then? Screw it.
Oh.
We're looking for people to send in their scary news teases from around the country.
Scary.
Here's some of the better ones that we've collected in the last month or two. Okay. The first one.
A new disturbing blackmail scheme targeting our teens.
It's like walking down a dark alley in the middle of the night.
Our webcams exposing our kids to a new cyber danger. The I-Team investigates. Tuesday at 5, only on ABC 7 News.
Yeah, well, I got to agree with him there. Some of the shit I see.
It's happening today as we do our radio show.
Oh, my goodness.
Pal Talk. Pal Talk, the rooms are up to what? 1,000 people now?
We're on Pal Talk. We can fit 1,000 people in the rooms now. We get more every day. There's hundreds in there watching.
How does it?
Is that what that is right there?
Yeah, they have. See, they could see you right there, up from that camera, and then the office cam is on. If Danny's listening to the show, he can give a little wave, and there he is,
like that girl.
There it is, and then there's Lil on cam. Lil on cam is a real trooper. She is a real goer. Shows them tits, and she's very cute. And these rooms fill up with girls that just love showing themselves naked. It's wonderful.
So how is webcams exposing your kids to danger?
I would think they are online on their webcam and being taunted to show their dirty parts.
And before they can look away, there's some awful middle-aged man.
Oh, Jack,
beating himself.
Because here's what you get.
With his...
we have very unique rooms here, the Opie and Anthony rooms. There's the Opie and Anthony live camera, which is the one that they're looking in on now. And it's guys hanging out, chatting. They got cameras, girls showing some tit and shit like that. It's nice. And them watching us do the show. It's very nice. Very nice. Civilized. But you go to some of these other rooms, it is porn on some of them because they're just streaming porno movies. Women showing their tits and their vaginas and shoving shit in them. But for the most part, 90%, the camera zoomed in on a man's nude lap as he is pounding away on his dick, just jerking off. It is cameras after camera, just guys jerking off.
Well, now that I know that music bed wasn't scary enough under the news teaser there.
No, not scary enough.
You know when they invented webcams, you think that's what they envisioned for this whole
I think they
technology?
Envisioned
what did they
video conferencing.
You think that's what they really envisioned at the time?
You're in New York. Your business partner is in Tokyo. You need a face-to-face meeting. Thank God for the webcam.
That's what they were hoping for.
Right.
You're we need more Toyota bumpers. We send a Toyota bumper right away. That's what they said. And it immediately turned into, if I get a naked chick on the other side of this, as opposed to a Jap at a car plant, I could put the camera on my dick and jerk off while she watches. This is great. And the second that happened, va-boom, everyone's got them.
When they invent new technology, they always meant well, but it never
goes
pans out that
right.
way. You got to get the porn out of the way with your new technology, and then you finally start discovering all the things you can do with it.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know the monks in robes with that first friggin' wood-handled printing press?
Right.
You know the first thing they did was just some dirty monk word.
Yeah.
And spread the ink down and squeezed it and pulled out the piece of papyrus and went, fuck, look, fuck.
I always wondered who do you think the first person ever to jerk off while watching TV was? Because right out of the gate they came out with like Howdy Doody. There must have been some pervert.
You think it was immediate or it took a while?
At some point, like the first time you saw a beautiful woman, she's on television. All right, and all of a sudden you realize you're alone in your living room. You're like, hey.
It's Uncle Milty in the Texaco Star Theater.
Oh, fucking Uncle Milty. Uncle Milty. Hello, ladies and germs.
You're going to jerk off to Ed. Well, look, you know when you were a little kid.
I think you had to wait for HBO.
No, I don't think so. Because
Channel 13.
Remember when you were a little kid, when you first saw, like the Sears catalog, anything could make you dick hard. You didn't give a fuck. So I think the same way with TV, even if you were jerking off to magazines and you'd see some stag films, or whatever the fuck they called them at that point.
Well, 23 Skidoo.
The first time Doris Day or one of those people came on the tube to hype their next movie.
The problem was never on there long enough. The visual was never on there long enough to do anything. Like, they used to go to, like, Tahiti on Channel 13, National Geographic special of Tahiti. And they would show these hot Tahitian women, topless, just walking around the island, and boing, insta-boner. But not enough time. And how much time alone did you get? Hey, leave everybody. I want to sit here in the living room where there's only one TV and jerk off.
Oh, that's right.
Not like there was a TV in every fucking room and a VCR and everything else. There's the family TV in a sarcophagus fucking case, big wooden thing with a record player on top.
I'm telling you, somebody did it. Somebody did it. Somebody with
I want to know the first case of jerking off to the television.
And what they jerked off to.
Yeah. Wow.
Let's go back to the news teasers. Let's say hi to Schwoogie real fast. Schwoogie!
Hey, fellas, what's going on?
Hey, man.
Hi, sir.
Honest to goodness news headline I saw over the weekend on Channel 11 News. Never saw something this low. Parents driving over their kids in their driveway with their SUVs. Could have happened to you. Channel 11 tonight.
Yeah, they've been talking about that one. People can't see behind the SUV, so they seem to be backing over their children in alarming numbers.
All right, thanks, Schwoogie.
You didn't punch out. You talked over me.
That's right. And we'll do another news tease here.
And when World News Tonight continues back from New York, a deadly new trend. Why are more and more children allergic to peanuts? Can you protect them even when a kiss can be deadly?
More and more?
What are they saying? If you eat some peanuts and then you kiss your kid, you could kill
happened.
Happened to a chick, man.
You must have been on the road. It happened here in New York, I think.
Some young couple, I guess they were in their teens.
I guess it was the chick. She knew she was allergic to peanuts, so she avoids the peanuts. But her boyfriend, I guess, had something with peanuts in it, and then gave her a kiss, and that was all it took to get the allergy going.
Had a little Snickers bar, skipping a meal.
Really satisfies. And she's dead.
Dead.
Why are more kids becoming allergic to peanuts? Is it something they...
Yeah, that's...
I don't know. See, that would be like, well, my kid's not allergic to them, so I don't have anything to worry about. More kids are becoming allergic. Now I got to worry.
When we do these news teasers, they all end with cliffhangers because we don't know the answer to any of them.
We should really have the answers to these, too.
That's not a bad idea.
Like, why are the webcams? We discussed the speculation, but is it maybe it could be like the webcam's on and your kid walks past it.
That would make
they're naked.
That would make this bit better. You're right, Ed.
Yeah.
Because then we guess and figure out what it's all about, and then we see if we're right.
We talked about that. I could remotely access my home's webcam right now. I could peek in right now and look in my living room.
People are going to get busted for cheating.
I choose not to do that. Because when we were in Vegas, my girlfriend's mom was staying over. I chose not to peek in.
Oh, you didn't peek?
I did not peek.
I thought you'd go for the peek.
No, I didn't peek.
You should have set the webcam up in the bathroom just for a laugh.
For a laugh?
Just for a laugh.
When you start to peek, does the camera... Is it red? Does the light... Do they have any idea that you're watching them?
That red light that you see on that camera?
I see it,
That will come on. That will come on. But it's so in with all my other computer stuff. The big giveaway is... But this can be covered up, too.
You're breathing on the audio speaker?
The desktop on my home computer will come alive as if a ghost is using it. The mouse, the little icon will start moving around. Like I could access my home computer from this computer. So all
Anthony,
of a sudden,
the more I do this show, the scarier you become as a human being.
Just nod.
And for some reason, and I don't know why, I take that as a compliment coming from you.
What are you working on? Just what are you working on?
I don't have a goal that I'm going for, but I'm on my way somewhere.
You're preparing. He's preparing. He's stocking up weapons.
I'm not really preparing for anything.
I'm waiting for the day when he goes, I can't do the show anymore live.
That'll never happen.
We're going to build a studio in my place, and we'll just communicate through the TV.
That won't happen. He's going to phone in the show.
There's other radio guys that do that.
They
so
do
this
that.
Isn't far-fetched.
No, I enjoy coming
He's going to be one of those
and
guys.
doing this show on a daily basis.
You'll have like
Look
a
in his
studio
eyes.
in
Did
your
you
office.
believe that?
I'm not preparing really anything.
I think he's sick of it.
No, I really do enjoy coming here and doing this program.
Could you say it without shifting your eyes all around the room where I can actually believe it?
Can't. I look around all shifty.
Let's go to Larry, the trucker. Larry?
Yeah, I'm going to say, I was just going to stall. When I was about 9 years old, maybe 10, I don't recall exactly when it was late 80s, 87, 88. I was, just learning how to masturbate, and I had a real fascination with a chick on Alf, the curly 80s there. I used to smack it off, to her, and my mother caught me, honest. It was absolutely horrid. Nowadays, I'll drive down the road, I'll pull up beside a Mercedes, and I'll be whacking my stack. And I'll be, looking down thinking, if they just only knew.
That you're jerking off to women on the road. There's how many tons do those vehicles weigh? Barreling down at 80 miles an hour, and the guy is jerking off. Fantastic.
They're obviously not giving him enough time to make the delivery.
No.
He can't pull off in a Super 8 and just rub one out. Something.
I fucking love you guys, though.
All right, thank you, Larry. I did that once, and when the moment of truth comes, you lose, control of your freaking legs.
Yeah, you can't. You break gas.
That was the first and last time I ever did that. This is way too fucking dangerous, because your right leg, it just starts... It goes dead, and then it has too much energy. It's all over the place.
I had a hooker jerk me off while I was driving one time.
Really?
Yeah, I was in Boston, and I remember there was a Comedy Connection, there was Nick's Comedy Stop, and I was just starting out. So what I would do, my 10 minutes at the Comedy Connection, and then I would drive over to Nick's Comedy Stop, and that's what I was planning on doing, right? So I did my set, Comedy Connection, and I'm driving over to Nick's, and I pull up to a red light, and there she is. This girl, she just looked hot. I didn't have any money. I'm like, I'm just gonna say. I just rolled down the window. I go, listen, I don't have that much money. I just want to say you look really good. And she's like, well, how much you got? And I'm like, I only got like $12. And she's just like, open the door.
Open the door.
So she gets in. And she starts jerking me off, right? And I'm driving. I'm going by Chinatown in Boston, so she tells me to turn down this alley. And I'm literally driving 3 miles an hour, creeping down this alley. And I'm like, I go, you got any lotion? She's like, I got some $8 lotion. I'm like, no, forget it, right? And the thing is, we went right behind, this Chinese restaurant, and there was, 10 Chinese guys on their break. And I'm driving down the alley, 2 miles an hour, and she's leaned over like this. And as right as I'm going by, they're all like, pointing at me, laughing. Busted my nut, dropped her off, never made it to Nick's, and I went home, and I watched the Rangers win the Stanley Cup.
Hey, there you go. Now we all know what night that was and where we were.
I see Mark Messier holding that up. I think back to that hooker.
Soiled your pants.
Brings you right back.
Yes, I did.
What did you do with the stuff? Was it all over you driving home?
Yeah, it was a crime scene.
Back to the news teasers.
I think I had to sell the car.
Jesus. Back to the news teasers. Let's listen to this one.
Life-saving material that's often tossed in the trash can help to save local children.
All right. Life-saving, thrown in the trash.
Yeah, see, we need the answers.
Local children.
You're
that could be
right,
anything from restaurants throwing away food.
Danny, from now on, we need the answers to these, all right?
Oh!
What happened?
I don't know. A kid with spina bifida.
Wait, what part of his body is that?
That's the back.
Are you kidding me?
It's like where part of your spine...
Individuals and children with spina bifida in the United States. We hope that she can live a long and productive and full life.
I know there's concern when she gets back to Iraq about the kind of medical care she would get there and the kind of follow-up medical attention she would get.
It's like a rare burger on her back.
Yes, it does.
This is the worst line, but I'm going to have to say it. No one is going to hit that doggy style. Later on.
Jeez. Going to hold on to it like a steering wheel.
Oh.
All right, so this is I don't know, trash can help save local kids, and we don't know what...
And we don't know what they're throwing away.
You're right. There's something missing with this bit, and I think you finally figured it out, Anthony.
We need to know the answer, so we can speculate and then get the answer.
Okay. Well, let's go with this one.
And out of control? New warnings about a popular form of birth control. This is 9 News Tonight.
Well, birth control always with the warnings. But can it give you the cancer? Or can you have kids while you're on it? They won't tell you. You got to tune in.
And we don't know.
Motherfuckers.
So we came and help you.
No.
Now I know why this bit sucks. Now I'm with the listeners.
We love this bit, though.
We've always loved this bit. It creates talk and conversation.
Scares you a little?
But now we need the answers. We got to take the bit to the next level for the next time.
What do you get when you breed a pug and a beagle? It's a puggle. And you get a breed that dog lovers can't seem to get their hands on fast enough.
But aren't these new designer mutts really a good idea?
No! She made it sound like this thing is going to come in as you sleep and just tear your throat out.
Right.
And then the music hitting right after that.
Maybe some sort of retarded dog.
You think the retard dog?
I'm going to go with the retard dog.
I'm going to go with...
Isn't that just a cool dog to have, retard dog? Like what? Fucking dog.
Sounds like a cartoon.
Retard dog. Yeah, they're called collies.
Like we had a dog that was stupid in California, and you could tell it was just a stupid dog, but as long as they're lovable, who cares? Let him fucking do it. He doesn't have to do a math test or anything.
We don't have the answers.
And as far as the puggle goes,
I say don't get him wet.
I say the only danger... or feed him after midnight?
Or feed him after midnight.
The only danger a puggle can pose is if you're driving and you see one on the side of the road, they are so adorable that you would crash your car because you cannot stop looking at it. You've never seen a cuter, more... I defy you to find a more adorable
I think they're creepy,
animal.
And I want to borrow one of your weapons and put them out of your misery.
Never.
And do your impression of the puggle and his eyes.
They look at you and they got big eyes, big eyelashes, and they go, blink, 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 blink. And they're real sad, and they always have the reflection with the window frame in it. The little 4 squares, rectangles
the bubble,
of pure white light. Yeah. Blink, blink, blink. They are just so cute.
All right, here's the ultimate...
I'll be murdered.
Here's the ultimate news tease.
Tonight on CBS 11 News at 10, the water you drink, could it cause cancer? That's what people in some local towns are claiming. CBS 11 News investigates tonight at 10.
Why don't you tell us the local town?
Some local towns, so it's not even one.
It's the local towns where they dumped all the toxic waste.
Yeah.
Why don't you just tell us the local town?
Could there be toxic waste in your town?
The water you're drinking could give you cancer.
Oof. If you get it.
Could your balls fall off if you drank
Staten Island Medical Center. Cancers of the throat, neck.
All right, we got one more for today.
Scary.
I don't like having him at night roaming the streets when I'm out there in the dark, and he's black, and I'm scared.
And there is a strange creature running around this neighborhood right there for you. Tonight, we know exactly what it is.
Holy shit, that was back to back?
Yeah.
Wow.
No, it's the same story.
No way.
Yes, that's the thing. They're trying to make it sound
I thought it was a black guy that the woman was afraid of, and then their next story was a creature.
That's why they're fuckers.
Oh, now I got to hear it again.
Yeah, he kind of jumped in to try to, or she did, to like smooth it over.
Right.
They made it sound like it's some scary black guy out there. Right?
Scary black guy.
That's actually something else that happens to be black. Some
Okay.
kind of animal. Maybe a bear. A bear? Damn. Danny knows the answer to this one?
This one I remember the answer to.
All right, let me hear it again.
We got to guess.
I don't like having him at night roaming the streets when I'm out there in the dark, and he's black, and I'm scared.
And there is a strange creature running around this neighborhood right there for you. Tonight, we know exactly what it is.
Wow. It's black. It's roaming around. She doesn't like it.
It's not a bear.
It's not a bear.
It's not a bear.
What town was this in?
Oh, that I can't
remember. The state?
State?
Section of country?
No, I just remember
Planet
what it
Danny?
was.
You know what? I heard a twinge of cuteness.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it's a skunk.
Oh. Okay,
I'm going to go the other direction.
Would be good. Black, but the white stripe.
I'm going to go with Rocky Raccoon.
A
raccoon, but black, but it's at night, so it might look black. I'm going to go with an elk.
All of you are wrong.
What?
You're all wrong.
All right, is it an animal?
It is an animal.
All right.
It's an animal.
All right, let's try
Okay, all right. Is it a mammal?
Yes.
It is a mammal. Is it indeed black?
This one, yes.
This one, but they could come in different colors.
Yes, their colorings do vary.
Is it a domestic pet?
No.
I got it.
Wild animal.
A bat.
Nope.
It's an otter. A beaver? I mean, what the fuck is left?
Nope.
I'm trying to think. If you knew what area this was.
Does it fly?
No, it does not.
It does not fly. It's a mammal.
Can it swim, too?
Does it live in a tree?
No, it doesn't live in a tree.
It walks the ground.
It walks the ground.
Is it a mole?
No, it's not a mole.
Squirrel.
Nope.
Is it frog? It's a fucking black frog.
Nope.
Is it as big as a bear?
No, nowhere even close.
Oh.
It's a rat.
Is it a rat?
No, bigger than a rat.
Bigger than a rat, smaller than a bear.
Cat.
Nope.
Dog.
Nope.
Rich boss. Rich boss. Okay, we're zeroing in on this now.
Yeah,
bigger than a rat, smaller than a bear. It's black. It's a mammal. It's not domesticated. It could be another color. I'm not a raccoon.
Can you raise it as a pet?
Some people have known to.
Oh. Carnivorous or vegetarian?
I believe
carnivorous means you eat meat,
yeah.
And vegetarian.
I bet you it's a panda.
Oh no, it can't be a panda. and it's in out west or east.
Honestly, I can't remember what state the story was from.
But you know what kind of animal? Would you find it out west or out east? Or where?
Is it all over the United States?
Yeah, they're all
over
the place.
They're all over the
place.
It's a buffalo.
No.
A cow.
Nope.
Fuck. This is gonna be so
a pig. It's a pig.
It's a pig.
A pig.
A pig.
Wow. He gets it. A big pot-bellied pig.
No, this was like it wasn't one of those small ones. It was like a nice size. It probably escaped from a zoo or something like that. But it was
a pig
on the loose.
Wow. Good
Why
one,
did
Bill.
You have to throw in it's black. That's just so it's big and it's black.
It's black, and I'm scared. Scared of its blackness.
It was
wow.
A big white pig with glasses. She'd be just, oh, isn't that cute?
Yeah, well, look.
All right, the next time we do this bit, we got to get the answers.
Charlotte.
We'll do.
Thank you, Danny. Danny just handed over some more Celebrity Fit Club audio.
Yes.
Of Jeff Conaway.
More slurring?
More slurring from Celebrity Fit Club. Let's listen to
People's
this.
guesses stink. Snake. A gorilla. A narwhal.
Narwhal?
You
said an elk.
Jim Norton.
Like an elk can't hide.
No.
You made it sound like it's hiding in the
trees.
bushes and behind the trees.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Jeff. Yeah.
You all right?
If you don't want me to be Jeff Conaway, then go find somebody else. I've walked off shows before, and I will walk off shows again.
Nobody wants you to walk off the show. So let's calm down and let's get back on track, okay?
By the way, Ant sounds so tough and looks so tough during Celebrity Fit Club.
Oh. Stop it.
He's the worst. He really is the worst.
How does that guy have any television career?
He's got a huge hit on his hands, though.
Why?
I don't know.
Because he was on Last Comic Standing.
Yeah.
Which...
All right, here's Jeff Conaway.
That's it.
Search the country for some of the top acts out there.
So I heard.
But it didn't include a lot of the better acts out there.
Top acts, because they were working.
Yeah, anybody with a career said, no, I don't want to do this.
I
Do you want to
got
live in a
gigs.
house with 10 other comedians? No. You know what? I don't think I do.
No.
All right, here we go. More slurring from Jeff Conaway.
All right, Jeff.
Yes, sir.
Let me ask you a question. At yesterday's fit camp, you looked like you were in no condition to be doing anything yesterday.
Yeah, I took 2 Benadryl. I'd never done that before. It totally whacked me out. I had no idea what was going on.
Just yesterday, Jeff showed up at fit camp clearly under the influence. He looked confused, slurred his words, and had everyone concerned.
You can't even walk.
Wow, that is gone.
It's the simplest TV show, like we said earlier. Eat
That ain't
a few
no
salads
Benadryl.
and do a little exercise, see how much weight you lose.
That was not a Benadryl.
Of course not.
Dr. Ian stepped in to see if it was wise to allow Jeff to compete in Fit Camp.
On your heels. I am on my heels. I got 5 feet.
Since this morning when you came here to now, you seem very groggy. You can't really walk a straight line. Did you take something or?
I took a Benadryl.
You took 1 Benadryl?
I took 2 Benadryls.
2 Benadryls. You know, I know Benadryl, and there's no antihistamine that works that fast and has that kind of effect. We're concerned about you, man. I'm concerned about you.
No, I'm fine. Believe me, I'm fine.
I'm feeling no pain.
Definitely something was wrong with me, and it confused me as much as it did anybody else.
Yeah.
You know, I don't do things like that anymore, and I never did it at work to begin with. So, you know, I'm sorry. I took 2 Benadryl. You know, I learned my lesson.
That I'm fine was every drunk guy when you ask him for the keys. That was I'm fine.
He goes, I took a Benadryl. You took 1? I took 2.
I took
you
2.
Took 2? 7.
You're not believing one?
Whatever number gets me through this.
Yeah, whatever number you believe that I could have taken to get to this state of intoxication.
The whole box and the box. I just shoved it in there. I'm sorry. I've never done that before. I did it.
I apologize.
We have one more clip. Jeff Conaway on Celebrity Fit Club. He finally admits to prescription drug use here.
Exactly what's happening medically with you? I mean, what kind of medications are you taking? And, you know, you keep saying Benadryl.
Yeah, I took some Benadryl. I take a muscle relaxer.
But listen, 2 tablets of Benadryl do not produce the effect that we saw in Fit Camp.
You know, I don't do drugs. I don't, you know, 15 out of the last 20 years I've been sober, you know, clean and sober.
To be very honest with you, in order for this to work, we're going to need you to buy into what we're doing here.
Right.
And I have to be honest with you, the last couple of weeks, I mean, you have not been here. Or if this is your being here, then that's a problem.
Where have I been? What are you talking about?
Even tonight, you're slurring a little bit, and that's a concern for us.
You know, I've got medical issues. You know, I've got torn meniscus. I've got degenerated discs. I've got herniated discs. I got in my neck. I got a prosthetic shoulder.
Everything that I'm talking about is above the chin, up in here.
You got brain damage?
Not a drug addict. I'm not an alcoholic. I don't do those things anymore.
So, there
I get this guy, though.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, dude, you were in Taxi, you were in Grease, you're fucking huge, and now you're on some look how fucking out of shape show I am. I would be completely inebriated, too. I wouldn't want to remember a second of it.
You know, you've brought me right in with you.
Yeah. Is that Young MC? Oh, my God.
You know the tail he probably got during the Grease years?
Ugh.
And the Taxi years and stuff? And now, yeah.
He just can't live with himself
anymore. He can't get a job. He's got this fat show. It's not even a reality show where you're the cool guy.
You got to end the show standing on the scale, like looking over at Biz Marquee. There's not enough Benadryl.
Yeah. Everyone should be slurring on that show.
Well, VH1, keep pumping them out, man. They're great. I love seeing these celebrities. And
I got to watch now and see that Kelly LeBrock is a slob.
Pretty big.
Oh, my God.
And check out Flavor Flav, Trying to Find a Woman. That show is hilarious.
Yeah, I got to see that one.
Absolutely. Have you checked that out?
Great show.
It is so. Did you see the hot tub stuff last night?
I didn't see that. I just saw them all screaming at each other. And at the end of the day, they're fighting over Flavor Flav.
They're fighting over Flavor Flav. It is really good.
These bitches.
It's really good. Let's go to the phones and say hi to Charles in Delaware. Charles?
Hey, fellas. Today I learned that I would bang Fat Kelly LeBrock and Ben Laden.
There you go. Let's go to Rob on Long Island. Rob.
Hey, guys. What's going on?
Hey, Rob.
Yeah, I got 2 things. First, I just wanted to thank you guys for putting a bit on Foundry that me and my friend made. It's been getting a lot of downloads.
What bit?
The little kid reenacting the Jimmy bit.
Oh, we got to get to that.
I have it in front of me. We got this when we were in Vegas. We still haven't played it for everyone. I hear this bit is really, really
Very funny.
Yeah, it's me and little Connor, the guy in the diaper from the Christmas party, Halloween party. Yeah.
Someone's got to remind us to play this tomorrow morning. Can we get the original bit, too, so people understand what it's all about? E-Rock, you remember? All right.
Well, I'll tell you what I learned. I learned that Grandpa Hoo-Hoo is about 8 months behind on his material than you guys.
Yeah, he got awful reviews on his first show today, by the way. It's all over the internet.
Yikes.
I'll be studying the transcripts later, definitely. You got to know your enemy.
Okay, guys, talk to you later.
But it was a disaster of a first show. Let's say hi to Dave in Tennessee. Dave, what's up?
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hey.
I learned everything's better with wheels.
Absolutely. Bill Burr, that's it for you, unfortunately?
Yeah. I'll be in all next week, though.
Punchline San Francisco, Tuesday through Saturday.
Hey, man.
That's it. I'm out of here.